What's up, people? I think my microphone is actually going to work today. Thank goodness. All the technical difficulties we've been having. Welcome to What the Fuck Entire Fuck Tuesday. That's the name of the show. What we do is go over advice letters that people have sent in. There's 25 questions in today's column. So I read the questions, I answer the questions just off the cuff. I haven't read the questions before. They're in the See the Secret cover page. So even when I print it out, I can't see what the contents are. So when I'm reading it to you, that's the first time I'm hearing it. And I also don't know any more information than you have. So people ask me like, well, what did they mean? And what was that about? And well, what about such and such? And what did she say? I don't know. You read as much about it, you heard as much about it as I do, as I know. I don't have psychic superpowers. Sometimes I wish I did, but I don't. So you guys ready? 25 letters for those of you who like to keep up with that sort of thing. Let's get going because this always takes us about 2 hours when it's this long. All right, question number one. This is from a female in the 26 to 29 age group from London. Yesterday, I met someone on internet dating in person. At his suggestion, we met in the park to walk his dog. The weather is good after all, and there's this virus. He was chatty, and I thought he was a great person, but knew he wasn't right for me very quickly. Afterwards, he sent me a text saying he liked me and would like to meet again. I said it was nice to meet him. He was a great person, but probably just as a friend for me. In return, he sent me a long and abusive text message. It said I wasn't his type anyway. I was too shy and quiet. I was snobby, thought I was really intelligent, and looked down on people. I gave no indication of this. I'm polite and well spoken and from a middle class background. And he was working class, but I'm not prejudiced and didn't reject him for that. Who meets in a park like a 10-year-old after he's the one who suggested it? Wow. Was I ill? I look ill. I look older than I am. He said, you're more interested in my dog than me. Get your own dog, you weirdo. Speaking about, his dog was a conversation as far as I started as far as I was concerned. When did you last have eggplant? Plus other things. I find it inexplicable that a 36-year-old man would behave like this. I despair. I really do. You're not supposed to despair. You're supposed to fire back. What's wrong with you? You don't let somebody that you met one time see what you were supposed to do is tell them, see here, look here, you motherfucker. This is exactly why I rejected you because I knew you was stupid. You can't even take rejection. What kind of 38-year old are you? You act like you're 8. That's why you're single. Because no woman wants you. She can see that you're a fucking weirdo. And you the one that wanted to go walking in the park in like that dumbass kindergarten ed level date. Calling that a fucking date. And your dog was more interested in your dog than you because your dog is cuter and has much more personality and better behaved as well. So good luck. I hope you die. The end. Yeah, you supposed to. You don't let somebody talk to you like that. Oh my God! See, these are the kind of things I wish like the person said, "Deb," and they could hand me their phone and say, "I don't know what to say. Can you respond to this for me?" So I could crack my knuckles and just act a complete fool. I mean, just do it for a reason. Usually, I just like to act a fool just for no reason, just because it's a sunny day. So the fact that I would actually have a reason, plus it's sunny too. Oh, that's like a trifecta for me, even if it's on. Yeah, he was stupid. I mean, girl, but you know how I don't know. I know this is the new thing. Everybody's meeting everybody on the internet and all. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I have yet to hear a good story about somebody meeting somebody on the internet. I just was like, this is unbelievable. Let me take a swig of my water. I'm just drinking water because I'm saving my Remy for Saturday for the pajama party. So we're going to be acting a fool. So I have to save my Remy for that. All right, question number two. This is a female in the 37 to 45 age group from Trinidad. They're scary as hell. Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that on Saturday too. Well, actually, the following Saturday. Um, Hi, Deb. I'm 45. I believe karma's about to get me. Uh oh. I don't know why that's so funny. In my 20s, I met my husband at university. We were studying in Jamaica. I am from Trinidad. At the time I met him, he was dating his high school sweetheart. I took him from her. I pursued him. He was ambitious in everything I wanted in a man. I'm what you would call very pretty and also very attractive in my 20s. I could get any man I wanted. We got married after finishing school and now have two teen children. We stayed with each other through the good and bad times and never broke up. Throughout our marriage, he said things that proved he has not gotten over his first love and even expressed his guilt about how he treated her and how he went about it. He still thinks she was a good person. I cheated once in the marriage and he never got over it. He's a quiet person, doesn't express himself too much. I always have to dig in to get stuff out of him. He keeps his feelings inside and I can tell he's hurt. In June this year, he went to his 30th anniversary high school reunion in Jamaica with some friends and saw his high school sweetheart, so he hasn't seen since their breakup. When he came back home, I looked at his face and right there I knew what had happened. I believe he still loves her. His attitude towards me is different. He now wants me to start working out and be on a strict diet. He is now more concerned about my appearance. He showed me pics of the reunion and I saw her. She is looking very good. Her athletic looks haven't changed. In fact, she looks better now than then. I think I'm not aging well. She has one child and is divorced. I think my husband wants me to look like her. I asked him if he's still in love with her, and he said no. He just wants to keep in touch with his childhood friends when I caught him going through pics on Facebook, so I don't believe him. I think he never stopped loving her. He said he would be traveling there for Christmas, something he would never do. I think he's going to see her. I want to go with him, and he was quick to point out that I don't like being around his mother, and I never make it a priority to get along with his family, so why bother? I cannot compete with this woman, and now our children are almost adults. I'm worried he will divorce me and marry her. I know I did not might get my husband the right way, and my infidelity does not make me a good person. What can I do? I think my marriage will fall apart. I'm going crazy. Oh, well, don't go crazy. You know, I'll tell you what my grandparents tell me. However you get them is how you going to you lose them. And in a situation like this, first of all, the first thing I wanted to say before anything, don't say that you stole him from her. You did not, you can't steal an adult person unless you do, kidnap them, put them in like a croaker sack, tie them up, and you throw them somewhere where they can't escape, and then you abduct them, and you did not steal a grown ass man. He decided that for whatever reason, you were the better choice in that moment. That's what happened. He made that decision. Okay, so get that off of your guilt plate because that wasn't on you. You took your shot, and it just a lot of guys would be like, "Girl, get out of here," and then others would bite, and yours just happened to bite. So that was on him. That was 150% his choice because he could have cussed you out, told you to get out of his face, told you he loved somebody else. Stop it! You being disrespectful. You acting like a garden tool. He could have said all kind of stuff to you that would have turned you off and turned you away, but that's not what he did. He went with it. Okay, so keeping that in mind. Now, what you're saying about him going there and never forgetting over his first love, I've talked about that many times. Didn't I do a video on it? But I know I've talked about it dozens of times about how men they never get over their first love. Never. Never. It doesn't matter who the woman is, how she treated them, or anything like that. In the corner of their heart, they always hold, a spot for her. Now, you might have an equal spot in the other corner of his heart, but notice it's equal. Okay, he's never going to love you more than he loved his first love. That's just the way it is because that's how men are. I don't know what kind of genes they have, what makeup they have. Because, with women, we'll get over it, we move on, and we don't be bothered about the first one because it's like, okay, well, he was the first, but that don't mean he's going to be the best, and he definitely not the last. But they don't seem to have that attitude. I don't know. Because they be like in their 60s and still whining about that girl that left them when they were 17. I don't understand it. Oh, I did do a video on it. That's what I thought. But oh my God, it's almost 1,000 videos on this channel now. I can't remember everything I did. It's like it has like a vague recollection. I was thinking about hiring a student over the summer. Well, I guess next summer after all this stuff dies down to catalog my videos. Like, make a subject matter thing and a link and all that stuff and put them in a document for me. Because right now it's just a lost cause. But He's gonna go to Jamaica, and what you need to do is have sit down with your man and have a real serious talk and be like, look, don't try to say that I don't know what's going on because woman's intuition is very strong. I've been with you for what 30 years or whatever it is. I know you. So I'm telling you this, I can see that your interest is over there. You're feeling all kind of mixed emotions about, just put it out there. Don't hide and run from it. Be assertive with it. Let him know that you know what's going on. Don't run from it. That's not going to make it any better, and that's not going to make you feel better either. Put it out there and you tell him, you do that. You do that. And I understand that I cheated and violated the relationship. I own that. That was some really fucked up shit to do, and I did it. And so, you go do that. You do whatever you want to do while you in Jamaica. And even though I can tell you're going to be mad about this, this is what you need to do. Remove the chokehold. It's not to say he's going to do anything, but you want to let him know if you want to feel like this is going to even the score, do it. And then when you get back, we'll have a talk. And this, as a grown woman who did some egregious shit to her husband, you just gonna have to eat this one. You're gonna have to take that L and sit your butt down and just deal with it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But this is how it's going to have to be. Then when he comes back from Jamaica, you all to have a serious conversation. Either you're gonna go to counseling and get your marriage back on track, or you guys will break up. It's only gonna be one of those two things. But this thing like trying to run and hide and being a scared and all the stuff that you portrayed here, that's not gonna get it. Roll up your sleeve and get your grown woman on and sit that motherfucker down and talk to him like you large and in charge. But the main thing is to let him know that you know what's going on. See, right now he's thinking he's hiding something, and he's being because he's so reticent and quiet and all that stuff. You remind him, I've been with you since you was whatever age, 20 or whatever, and I could read you like a book. I know what's happening with you. Don't think you can hide anything from me, sir. Nothing. And you just let him know. Yep, she gonna have to. You right now. She gonna have to take all the L's, all of them. The uppercase L's, the lowercase L's, the L that's in Spanish, the L's that's in Korean, all of them. You're gonna have to take them all because you messed up first. You know, so you can't really say anything if he does something, to even the score. Then y'all can start from there. All right. This is really sad. So you got to be prepared either way. But when he comes back is what's going to tell the tale because what the unknown here is that you all fretting about what he wants, what he thinks, and what he likes to do. What is the unknown element in this, the unknown part of this equation, is if she wants him back. Okay? Because we don't know that. She might still have a grudge about how he just dumped her and not want to even think about it. Plus, find out that he's married. It's like, no, I'm not trying to be your side piece. You know what I mean? So there's a whole part of this, not knowing her character or what her situation is. I can't even venture a guess, but I'm just saying that is the part that we don't know, and that is a big, almost 50% of this story. Okay, so don't get too upset. But I'm telling you, be prepared for the L that may be coming your way. Get your mind right, but deal with it like a grown woman. Okay. Now, if he want to make a baby, that's his. That's gonna be out of his check. You can't ask him not to do that. Well, definitely, but you don't have to go into that much detail. These are grown people. You just say this and that. I mean, he knows not to do that. But it's the kind of thing like, you can't be putting all these rules and regulations on him. You didn't put none on yourself when you tipped out, so let's not even do that. So that plan B is not what we're going to do. She's going to stick to this, make the equation as equal as it was with her. He didn't give her no rules and regulations and guidelines. She's not going to do it to him. All she's going to do is acknowledge that she understands what's going on, and they'll just let it blow, let it fall, the chips fall where they may. All right, let's move on to question number 3. This is from a young lady in the 26 to 29 age group out of Canterbury, England. Now that restrictions to travel are lifting, I just came back to my hometown for a week of vacation after not coming home for a few years. My friend wants me to hang out with her and her cousins. I don't mind spending time with them, except that all 4 of the cousins have toddlers now, and I find children that small super annoying. I feel like there's no way to say this without sounding rude because I still want to spend time with my friend, just not her entire extended family. What's the best way to go about this? Me, I don't have that filter that would make this be like, something that doesn't sound rude. I wouldn't care because if she's your friend, then she should understand you, right? My friends would know better than try to put me in a situation like that, right? So you would say, I want to spend time with you. I'm not good with little kids, and that's not my skill set, and I'm not trying to do that to my nerves. So you want to hang out with your cousins, y'all go ahead. Why don't you stop by, my place when you're done, or we can meet up someplace, tomorrow or the next day or next week, whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm here till such and such a day, so anytime that works for you. But I want to be able to talk just to you, as one to one as adult, maybe hit on some adult topics, and I don't want to be distracted by little kids screaming, poopy diapers, and all that stuff. Okay, and you just tell her. And so how can you be upset about that and somebody just being honest? It's not like you would be like me, calling them demon spawn from hell. I'm not trying to be around your rug rat curtain climber little monkeys. I say stuff like that and people do get, offended. But, I be looking at their kids and how they be acting all wild like they just straight out the jungle. So what am I supposed to do? Your kid acts like a little monkey. All you need to do is give it a treat. It's over there screaming and acting a fool. They're laying out on the floor like how monkeys do when they be waving their arms and stuff. You see them at the zoo. They be trying to intimidate each other and stuff. And that's how they kids be doing, swinging their arms and kicking their feet and stuff. Oh no, 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 not doing that. So that would be my suggestion. Just tell her. Honey, they are mad overrated. Marriage is mad overrated. Sometimes even the dingling is mad overrated because you got to figure the majority of it is like on wax status. I mean, you know what I mean? Because I think as every adult woman can think of the lovers that she has had in her past and the two or three that rise to the top and the rest who are just made grossly forgettable. Right? So what does that mean? That means a very small percentage of men know what they're doing in bed. So, right? That means that the D is overrated as well. Okay? Let's move on to question number 4. Female 22 to 26 from Columbus, Ohio. My question to you, Auntie, is this. Is it really necessary to love yourself before you have a relationship? Let's see where you're going with this. I've been thinking a lot about this lately as I've heard you and other advice people say it, but I haven't found a real answer for this. Anyway, is it really necessary for people to love themselves before they have a relationship? And I need to know why. The reason I'm asking this is because one of my friends has really bad self esteem, but already had 2 relationships. And always heard the phrase, love yourself before you can love somebody. And with my friend's case, it's making me get into a lot of doubt about that statement. Can you give your perspective? Well, your question is kind of written oddly, but what I think you're asking is how can your friend who you see doesn't love herself because she has very poor self esteem, has already had 2 relationships? Okay, let me explain that to you. There's a relationship like a shit relationship, and then there's a healthy relationship. If you don't love yourself, that means you're not taking care of yourself. That means you have no boundaries. You don't speak up for yourself. You don't, assert yourself when you should. You let people run all over you. You let people talk to you in any kind of way, treat you in any kind of way, hit you, all kind of crazy stuff be going on. But you in a relationship, and see, that's all the part that you looking at. Well, she has a man, but how's that man treating her? Right? What does that man do for her? What does that man bring to her life that's beneficial to her? How does she feel in that relationship? Okay, because a lot of women in relationships they feel like shit because the man talks about them like they have paws and a tail, right? And there they stay and just get verbally and emotionally abused day after day, sometimes physically as well, financially, all kind of stuff be going on. But so you looking at, well, she's had 2 relationships. If your friend has poor self-esteem, she had shit relationships. I can guarantee it, because there are certain men who are somewhat predatory, opportunistic, who look for women with low self-esteem. They look for them, and you can always tell when somebody has low self-esteem because their eyes show it. They have this. How do I describe this look? I know you all know what I'm talking about. This like love me little puppy dog, hungry, little thirsty, this little look of vulnerability and desperation, and like they haven't had a Scooby snack in years and stuff like that. And it shows in their eyes. It's the way they carry themselves, kind of with this timidness and stuff. And guys, who can read that kind of stuff and are looking for a victim will pick right up on it. They be over there, shoop, and right in her face, talking her out her drawers, talking her out of her money, talking them way into her house for a free place to live, all kind of stuff, driving her car, all kind of stuff. Those are the kind of relationships women have when they have no or low self-esteem. So you just looking at a quote relationship, I urge you to refocus your thinking because your thinking is all kinds of fucked up about this whole situation. And if you don't know what a jacked up relationship is, you look on this channel. There's a playlist of interviews I did with women whose boyfriends or husbands were straight narcissists. You listen to their stories and the changes that they went through with those men, and that'll let you know what an unhealthy relationship looks like. Yeah, they was in a relationship. They was in one. Even in this advice column every week, you hear like dozens of women because we do about 25 letters a week. And so you got 2 dozen, women more or less, because sometimes there's men in some really sick and twisted relationships, but they in a relationship. According to you, they in a relationship. So what does that mean? The lost inner child look. It is you probably right. I never really, thought until just now. I never really, thought. But I'm picturing a girl who I know who has that look. I had to stop going out with her. We used to go out to the, clubs and stuff together, and these dudes would just be like swarming her, and she just would. Oh, it was just terrible. We'll talk about that on Girls Night Out because we're gonna be gossiping about folks. Okay, so we'll talk about that too. Somebody remind me. Let's move on to question number 5. We got 25 questions again. This is our new normal, apparently. Female 21 to 26 from Texas. Hey, Auntie Deb, thank you for selecting my question. I have an issue. Thank you, Heather. I'm 25 and I realize I don't have many friends because somehow they almost always end up developing feelings for me. Most of my friendships have ended, what? Because their feelings for me were never reciprocated, men and women. And when I say feelings, I mean romantic feelings. It always starts off like a normal friendship. We hang out, laugh, talk about emotions and stuff, go for drinks, the usual friend stuff. Everything goes well, but sure enough, they begin to confess how they develop feelings for me. I do not give off hints that I like them that way. I'm not the flirty type whatsoever unless I have actual feelings for someone, and I'm so upfront that I make all my intentions clear. I don't send mixed signals or beat around the bush. So it frustrates me when they come to me about their true feelings because it makes me question what their true motive was, but it also makes me question myself. I become super cautious around people to make sure I don't give off any hints that I like them or are interested in them. I tend to be fully present in the moment while around people, and I'm big on eye contact. So that could be the reason. But I don't want to stop being who I am because it takes away from me and my personality. I do not want to dull myself down out of fear of people catching feelings for me. They always admit how they're drawn to my energy, presence, and outlook on life and my looks too. To top it off, I can light up any room I walk into. I've always just been myself, always. So I don't know what to do anymore. This has been an ongoing issue, and some of these friends have been friends for 2+ years. It hurts because I've always lose a friend to their attraction towards me, and I never feel that way or towards them. I just want to remain friends because I value the dynamic. I thought we shared. But because I never feel the same towards them, I always end up being the villain. I want an actual friend. How do I maneuver this? Well, this is interesting. And I would imagine this could be a problem. Thanks, DC. With everybody trying to be everything and be all these different non-binaries and all these other things, people just all confused. So what you would have to do, young lady, is so say you meet a new friend. Okay, this is how I would play it. I'd meet a new friend. I say, I'm really glad that we're getting this opportunity to be friends because, I don't really get to keep my friends much. And so they're going to be like, why? Right? That's the setup. Why? Why is that? Well, what happens? Because, and then say what you just said here. And like, I just really want a friend, somebody that I could confide in and stuff, and that they feel comfortable confiding in me. But I will have, I don't know what else to do to make it clear. I'm not, I don't jump the fence, and I'm not trying to be, in a romantic partnership with a woman. I'm not trying to do that. So see now, what does that do? That A tells them that this has happened before, right? So it derails their little train before they even get on board. And then it lets them know before you even fix your lips to tell me some bullshit about how you feel. Let me explain to you. Let me put, this is the preemptive strike. I don't care. I'm not interested. Don't do it. You see what you feeling me? So this is what you have to start doing as you start meeting people now. That's going to be you go out for drinks and stuff. Be like, girl, let me tell you, my life has been so weird. I just don't even know what to do. I can't even think about it. It's just so disturbing. It's so upsetting because it just keeps happening and I just don't know what to do about it. La, 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 la. And then you spill your guts and you say it. And then you ask them, what do you think I should do? What would you do if you were in my shoes? Stuff like that. I flip that around and let them come up with a solution. But you know what it's going to do? It's going to fix this shit. And if they come back with it, see this, because this is how dudes do women. Think about this. They meet you, right? Oh, you be like, well, what are you looking for? And, oh, I'm not looking for nothing. I'm enjoying being a bachelor. If I was a dude, that's exactly what I would say. I'm telling you what I would say if I was a dude. I don't know. I'm just enjoying being a bachelor. Just fucking around, just doing this and that. I'm not trying to be settled down. Okay, I've done told you everything. I'm a hoe. I'm just fucking around, and I'm not trying to be settled. But I like you right now. Let's talk to me. What's going on with you? Okay, and if I was a dude, that would be the most terrible player ever. So then you tell them this, right? So that's how dudes do, right? They do the preemptive strike. And they let you know it ain't that kind of party. Don't be catching feelings because they will not be reciprocated. So it's kind of that same thing, but you're doing it, to these female friends. And so they already know. If you catch feelings, you can always refer back to that first conversation because that's what dudes do, right? They be like, well, girl, what you talking about? I mean, I thought we was having a good time and we understood each other because I told you when we first got together, I wasn't on that page. I'm not trying to be that dude. I'm not trying to be your nigga. I'm not trying to be committed. I told you I'm a hoe. I just want to be fucking around. I told you that. I use those exact words. So why you would come talking about, well, what are we? And where's this going? And why don't you care? Okay, you all on some other page in some other book, and I'm trying to figure out how you got there. Because I told you what time it was. Right? He told you, but y'all don't want to listen. So that's what you have to do. I'm talking with you. I'll be doing that stuff. Don't be trying to be over here laughing because I don't know what we are. We do everything like a couple, like we're married, but he don't want to claim me. He already told you that he was a hoe, and you didn't listen. You didn't listen. You was like, I just like, cause y'all be so indignant with it too. That's the part that be cracking me up. I mean, I don't mean to laugh at your pain. Don't get me wrong, but it's like sometimes, ladies, you be hurting and you be hurting yourself. The only one who be confused about why you hurting is you, cause the dude is sitting there scratching his head with his head cocked to the side like a little puppy, looking at you all kind of crazy. Like, okay, was don't she speak English? Do she want me to do sign language? What? I mean, what you need? You need like, written in the sky? I mean, what you need so that this makes sense to you and you comprende. Okay? But y'all don't be getting it. Don't want to accept it. I love my male friends. You know why? Because you get to talk shit to them and they don't be getting all emotional like women do. Just talk shit. Just talk crazy to them. Just say all kind of stuff. I just talk so bad to mine and they just look at me like, what's wrong with you? But that's how it is. I like that. That's what comes from growing up with brothers. You know what I mean? So that little delicate side that a lot of girls have, I don't have that side. I just don't have it. I never got it. Never wanted to have it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mr. Sean, that's probably a good idea because then when you get a girlfriend, you won't have no bullshit to put down, right? Because you get into a relation. Like I could have male friends, but if I get with a dude and he got female friends, I'm gonna be looking at him crazy. Don't let that bitch jump sideways at me because we gonna have a problem and I'm gonna beat her ass. Yeah, we don't. But the code thing is like if I'm in a relationship, I don't. I mean, I'm with you. I'm not tripping like that. But I do like my friends, because it's like an outlet. You can say things to your male friends that you can't say to your man because he'll get all of his feelings and stuff. Whereas you can talk all kind of shit to your male friends, they just be like, "Girl, shut the fuck up. Just sit down somewhere." Yeah, Ken, he will. We talked about it. I'm trying to fix up my studio here and get everything. I got a soundboard now. I got all kind of stuff, but I don't even know how to put it together. I need a consultant to come and put my stuff, put my sound panels up. Girl, I got this boxes of stuff over here. Y'all don't know. My Patreon money and the donations y'all been giving. That's what I've been spending it on stuff to improve the show. Believe it or not, I really have hundreds of dollars have gone out. Microphones, all kind of stuff. So that when I have a guest, we have like lapel mics. I'm like trying to upgrade around here. You have six brothers and you still sensitive? Well, your brothers must be more nicer people than mine, because mine was just so, especially my oldest one, a rogue nigga. And so was my daddy. So I think that canceled out five of your six brothers, them two. So let's move on. Enough about that. Let's talk about question number 6. Male 26 to 29 from San Diego, California. Do you believe that anyone is ever too busy to communicate? I'm of the belief that if you have time to take a dump, eat lunch, or watch TV, you have time to communicate, text, phone call, whatever, with a romantic prospect or partner. You'll make time to see them or FaceTime them during the week. You will climb mountains to get what you're aiming for. Not putting in work into a relationship is pure laziness to me. What is your take? If somebody's not putting in no effort, then they don't really want a relationship with you, not the kind that you're talking about. That's very simple. Why you getting your feelings about that? Listen to my video on mirroring. Okay, mirroring. You mirror the energy that the other person gives you. You don't do no more. And of course, you don't really want to do too much less either. You want to keep the interest going. Thanks, Bay. I don't, you don't do it that way where, you having all these expectations. And, in our society too, you got to also factor this in. People multitask. Now, I don't know about you, but I'll tell you what, when I was dating my husband, okay, this is when we, was just starting to date. And something happened. I don't remember what. He was coming over or something, but there was a reason why I need to call him at first. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, he was busy. He was busy doing something. But he saw it was me, so he picked up. But he was distracted because he was doing, what he was doing. So he was thinking about that. Men can't do more than one thing at a time. Women could be driving the car, yelling at the kids, and putting on makeup and giving talking to their girlfriend on the phone all at the same time. Men can't do their brains don't work like that. They can only do one thing at a time and do that well. Okay, that's just how they're built, and that we're not faulting them. We're just noticing the difference. Okay, so I called him that one time, and he was all I don't know what that was. He was so distracted. I mean, this conversation from his side was like every now and then, and he would answer, and the answer wouldn't be really related to what I asked him. It was crazy, and so I said, you know what? I'm going to hang up now. When you're done and you can concentrate and you're free, then call me back and then we'll talk. And he said, okay. So we hung up, and that was the very last time I ever called that man in my life. Never, even when we was married, I did not call him. You know why? Because he was into so many things. He was just like the male version of me, into so many things. Always, mind spinning. Everywhere he went, he had a book in his hand. He was always reading, trying to educate his mind, talking about stuff, listening to things, reading stuff, learning. So he was just brilliant, and so his mind was always activated with what he was doing or thinking about. When he decided to slow down, when he would sit there and he would think, I miss my baby, I want to talk to her, then he would put all that down. he would pick up the phone and I would have his full and undivided attention. And that's what you want. So you saying all of this stuff here that they should have time to do this and then you're asking for somebody to multitask. And I don't know about you. I don't want to be on the phone with nobody when they on the toilet. That's not my idea of a good time. Okay. So you feel like, that they have all the time to do all this other stuff so they have time to see you. Well, maybe, maybe not. Because they might be like me. And it's like, unless I can give you my undivided time, then I'm not going to call you. Because right now I have these other priorities, deadlines. Something I got to get to somebody else because they have a deadline. I got to get this bid into a client because they want it by 5 o'clock, and I need that $5,000 that they're gonna be giving me. There's other things in life besides you, sir. So you know what I mean. And most of the time, the other thing you got to figure too is most men are boring as fuck. So you want to be on the phone all the time. You don't be talking about nothing. Now, my husband, he was very interesting. He was an interesting guy. I could talk to him for hours. But in general, most dudes, they don't be talking about nothing. Talking about stupid shit. Sports, I don't know, just dumb shit. Don't nobody want to talk about that. I just sit there and look at them. So I'm like, is this it? This, you wanted me to talk to me about this? Well, I thought we could talk. Well, but you want me to carry the conversation. If you want to call me, that means you should have something to say to me. If you don't have nothing to say to me, don't call me. Just breathing on the phone. I have shit to do. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because they be sitting there. Oh, what you do today? Oh, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, I did this and that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, how your mama doing? This is when she was still alive. Oh, she's fine. I talked to her, blah, 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 this and that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how your daughter doing? Oh, Okay, so we go through this little ritual. Okay, but what's going on with you, dude? You didn't ask about everybody that I'm related to from here to Kingdom Come, but you ain't said nothing about you. Oh my God, that just drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. So when you start to look, when they have them kind of conversations, you see the caller ID, I do reject call and go on with my life. I don't want to be bothered. Yeah, how's work? It's full of fucked up, stupid people. What you want me to say? Unless I got a $20,000 bonus that day, I'm not going to have nothing nice to say about work. So let's not even talk about that. It's a necessary evil. Ooh, okay, let's move on. Question number 7. This is a female in the 30 to 36 age group. Oh, no location. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh my God, look at this long ass letter. We about to skim over this. My sister-in-law is manipulative as fuck to my mother. I feel like I can't continue to be a bystander any longer. My brother won't speak up, and my sister and I feel like we need to intervene on our mom's behalf, but we aren't sure how. It's been going on for years, and I've remained pretty much a bystander, but it's getting to the point where my mother's mental, emotional, and physical health is now being impacted by the control and manipulation of my sister-in-law. You and your sister need to beat her ass, and if your brother don't like it, then beat his too. But let's see what else you have to say. Her trump card is the kids, my mother's grandchildren. She threatens to withhold the children from seeing my mom unless my mom complies with her rules, citing the children's safety. My mom is not an unsafe person. She raised 4 children on her own, one of whom is my brother. The thing is, I can see is that my sister-in-law has a million rules for her kids. My mom doesn't always follow them. The ages are 8, 5, and 2. It's never an issue with the children's actual safety. It's typical grandma stuff, like giving an extra scoop of ice cream or allowing them to stay up a little later or playing and running around, basically doing things that kids do. She would never put the children in the way of actual harm. I don't have children of my own, but if I did, I would have all the faith in the world that my mom would know what to do with them and they would be safe, loved, and cared for. She loves those kids more than anything, so from the very beginning she went along with it so that she could see them and visit with them. My brother is in the Happy Wife, Happy Life camp and never intervenes on behalf of my mother and prefers to stay out of it whenever possible. All of these rules got exacerbated by global issues and by the fact that my sister-in-law is pregnant again. So in addition to the already established rules, now she has new ones. My mom and her husband now have to quarantine for 14 days prior to seeing the kid. No hugs are allowed. My mom and her husband are not able to see the grandchildren on her husband's side as a result. They babysit them, and this is now causing the other side of the family to find a new sitter. My sister-in-law refuses to recognize how the rules are impacting others outside of their immediate circle and maintains that we all have to make sacrifices right now. This is just one example of many. My mom and I have an end of summer tradition that we do every year, and now we may not even be able to do that as a result of my sister in law's rules. My mom is crumbling. My sister and I are boiling over with resentment and rage. Do we intervene? And if so, how? Okay, this is what you do. You have to talk to your mother. Because your mother doesn't understand. This is the bitch that you have to play poker with. I'm an excellent poker player. So you know how people you have to they can't read your face. They can't read your tails. You have to bluff. So what you gonna do is you gonna call you and your sister gonna call your raggedy ass sister in law. You're gonna say, you know what? Ain't nobody quarantining because don't nobody want to give a fuck about your raggedy ass kids. Stay your pregnant ass away from my mother and father. If you come over here, I'ma beat your ass and stomp that baby out of you. Now, this is how this is gonna go. If you want them to talk to them, they will talk to them over FaceTime or Zoom or, whatever, Google Talk, whatever the fuck is going on. Some electronic shit so that they stay over there safe and my parents are safe from you. So that's how we're going to do this. You not going to darken their door and she ain't coming to your house because don't nobody give a fuck about your kids but you. Now, you have to get your mother on board with that. She has to understand that this is part of a larger play. So, what she has to do is take away the power that she has been giving this sister in law over her kids. Your mother, I don't know how, I don't know what kind of woman she is, like if she, cusses and this kind of stuff, if she knows how to even put on this kind of attitude. But let her run her through it so she can understand that this is a necessary behavior that you guys have to check. Otherwise, she's going to continue running amok thinking she has all this power. You got to yank the rug out from under and tell her, don't nobody give a fuck about your kids. And guess what? All the time that you had free while she was babysitting them, you won't have them no more. You're going to have a new baby and all your kids all the time. Let's see how that works out for you when your ass is going crazy climbing the walls looking for somebody to babysit those little motherfuckers. And you better take them over to the other parent's house, the daddy's house, or whoever the fuck is the other parent, because that's where they're going to need to go because they ain't coming here. And let me tell you, if I find out that you did try to bring them over here, I'm calling Adult Protective Services and filing a case on you for elder abuse. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And you put her ass in check. Check, where are you again? Hold on a second. Oh, that's right. We don't know where you are because the location is, but whatever. In every country, they have an adult protective services type thing where they, protect seniors from being abused. And this is emotional abuse. Okay. So you have to put some things in place. You and your sister, it's time for y'all to get hard as hell. You're going to have to be hard against your brother and you're going to have to be hard against this bitch. But the main thing is you're going to have to yank the rug out from under her and tell her, and don't call her, and then go to your mother's phone and block her so she can't call. I think she taking it for and trying to yank her chain because she knows she want to keep the kids. But see, that's why you gotta flip it. Like, well, I did used to want to see the kids, but now I don't give a fuck about your kids, and I don't give a fuck about you either. See, that would be terrible. That wouldn't work on me. Cause soon as she tried that shit, I'd be like, look, the second they come in that door, I'm gonna start loading them up with sugar. If you don't like that, keep your fucking kids at your house. Cause that's what grandmas do. That's what my grandmother did. My mother would make us stuff like snickerdoodles, oatmeal cookies, gingerbread every occasionally. She used to make sweet potato, what you call them, lemon meringue pies occasionally, pineapple upside down cake occasionally, and that's about it. And ice cream and stuff like that. Candy, Halloween, that's when you got some candy, and she would ration that out. So we didn't have a lot of sweets and junk in the house. She didn't buy chips and sodas and all. We didn't have all of that. You know when we got that? When we went to my grandmother's house. We would be peeping out the window, waving bye to my parents. And the second they was gone, my grandma would be like, come on. And she would give us donuts and ice cream. And we would be so sugared out. It was terrible. But that's where we had that kind of stuff. We did not get it at home. And to try to deny a grandparent from being able to do that is just criminal. That's the fun part of being a grandmother. You get to load them up with sugar and then send their little hyped up asses home. I thought, So that's what you're gonna have to do, girlfriend. I know it's gonna be hard for you, but you know this is a what would Deb do moment, and this is what y'all need to do is channel your inner Deb and get her bitch ass in check. Cause she doing the most. Make her suffer. Make her stay over there with them kids. And you see, after about a month of that, her she not getting no relief because nobody want to watch her kids. She'll change her tune. You watch. Question number 8, female, 37 to 45 from Minneapolis. My fiance indirectly complains every time I want to spend time alone with my family or friends by making comments like, quote, "You never put your man first." He then punished me with threats to leave me at the altar. What? If I go spend time away from him. Or if I complain about anything in our relationship, he never wants to find a solution to work on things. He actually tells me if you're not happy, leave. Yeah. I feel dismissed and unimportant most of the time. If I suggest his 19-year-old son get a job or do chores, he tells me I hate his kids. If I complain about his daughter wearing her panties and bras around the house, he says I'm jealous of her. This has to be abuse, right? His daughter steals my expensive perfumes, get caught, and doesn't even have to apologize to me. Wow, you stupid. Why are you staying in this situation? My fiance says she took it by mistake. We fought on Memorial Day because she ate Cheetos on my treadmill and damn near broke it. He said I can't prove she did it even after she confessed. I lost it and yelled at his daughter. He said the wedding is off and he left with his kids. We had to cancel the wedding and move out of our rented house. He now wants me back. What should I do? Do not, under any circumstances, go back to this bullshit. What is wrong with you? You should have left this the second he started telling you um, that you can't even see your family. That's emotional abuse. And then they're going to punish you and threaten you to leave you at the altar. You're supposed to say, you know what, you could take that altar and shove it up your ass. Because I'm not marrying you. I don't want no parts of you. I don't want no parts of your disrespectful, titty showing daughter. I don't want no little fucked up son of yours who's a lazy ass bum who don't want to work and do nothing. Y'all are stupid and crazy and I'm out. Deuce. Sis. That's what you were supposed to do. You weren't supposed to be staying in this situation and yelling and complaining. See, this is the part that drives me crazy. So many women lose their sense of self and their self respect, their self esteem, their boundaries go to hell. Everything happens because you have a quote fiance. What does marriage mean to all of you that have this mentality? It drives me crazy. Don't you understand? It's not just being married, it's being married to a man who treats you like you're precious and wonderful, who's got great communication, who respects you and I mean adores you. And his family loves you. That's what you want to marry. You don't want to marry somebody like this. The fact that he had to move out for you to get a clue and leave this situation alone is very disturbing to me. You have like zero self esteem and your boundaries are underground. Okay, get your little ass to a shrink and start working on figuring out what's wrong with you and why you even thought that this was something that you should have stayed in one day past the first time he told you he threatened he gonna leave you at the altar. The first time that you said wanted his 19-year-old son to get a job and he told you that you hate his kids. The first time that his daughter's walking around showing her ass and titties and her to her son, to her brother and her daddy. That's inappropriate. And the first time that she tried to destroy your, because treadmills aren't cheap. I don't know how much yours cost. I was looking at one. That sucker was $800, and I was like, oh. Instead, I got a used stationary bicycle for free that somebody wanted to throw out. I brought that up in my house because I'm like, this is crazy. So, I'm looking at how you handled this, and it was very, very poor. You did not handle yourself like a G at all. At all. You were acting very desperate and like you just, had to hang on to this man. And now he wants you back. You're supposed to give him the middle finger on both hands and tell him, fuck you, and go twirl on a fork. And then block his number so he can't call you no more. That's what you need to do. This was the most toxic shit I've ever heard of in my life. And you sitting up there trying to say you want to marry this shit. You was tripping. I don't know. Lee, I don't know. I'm telling you, once they use the word fiance, that's in their minds, their self esteem, self respect, boundaries, their whole presence, everything goes out the window because of they use the word my fiance. And this happens over and over and over. I don't understand. But anyway, let's move on. It's not too much There's that's my phrase from the 80s. That's really old. I can't believe I said that. But let us go on. See, you probably wasn't even born yet. Question number 9, male 18 to 21 from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I'm 18 and I call my female friend who's also 18 a bitch. Jokingly, and she was really offended. You think? You think? You thought she was just gonna be like, "Oh, hee. That's so funny." Is that really what you thought? What should I do? I'm in college early taking classes, and while in my friend's dorm, I was walking out, and she said, "Get out with your grandma sweater." And as I left, I said, "Whatever, you fucking bitch." Oh, see, you just didn't even just say bitch. You added, some modifiers to it. You just went way left with your shit. See, were she me, I would still be cussing your little nigga ass out. You would have become every kind of black motherfucker I could have thought of. And I would have talked about your mama. I would have the one who birthed you and didn't raise you right and you treat you like you acting like you was raised in a fucking forest with wolves or some shit. I would have talked about you forever, you mannerless little bitch punk. That's what you are. Okay, I hope I'm making myself clear. You don't talk to young ladies like that. At least you have enough sense to realize you fucked up. But you know what? You should have realized that before them words flew from your mouth. Because not only, like I said, did you call her a bitch, you called her a fucking bitch. So you just, because she said, teased you about having a grandma sweater. So she got to be all that. And you think that's okay. We don't know what he had. As I was, okay, wait. As I was going on, so she called and asked if I just called her a bitch, and I said, yeah, I did jokingly. And then she said, yeah, but that doesn't mean that you should disrespect me. Wow. What should I do now, Auntie? She was really offended and even after my friend told her how sorry I was, she was like, fuck him. What should I do? I feel so sorry and bad about how I made her feel. I won't ever do anything like that ever again. Well, that's good. Because like I said, I would still be cussing you out. This is what you going to do. Whatever little money you have, you're going to go and you're going to buy her some flowers. And you're going to get a card. And you're going to get one that has like a booty on the outside because that's going to represent you. And you're going to write an arrow on it with a marquee pen and you're going to say me. Okay, then on the inside, you're going to write, it's going to be one of them blank kind of cards, right? Or you're going to write how stupid you are, how you're so apologetic that you realize that was just a dumb donkey move to something to say was inappropriate. You are ashamed of yourself. You weren't raised that way. You just turned stupid for 30 seconds and lost your mind. You're going to plead every kind of plea that you can plead. That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to say, we don't have to go back to be friends like we were, but I just wanted you to know that I am really, truly sorry to the bottom of my heart. And, if you just accept my apology, we can go on from there. You never have to talk to me again. But I just want you to know I'm never going to do anything like that again. And I'm going to be a better man from here forward. I promise. That's what you need to write in that card. But you're going to do that. Even if you don't can't find a card with a booty on it, I'm sure you have some friends that are good artists. You can have them draw you one. But make sure you put that arrow and then you say me so that she knows I am an ass. That's what you're going to be communicating. And then you're going to write all the stuff I just told you inside the card and you're going to give it to her with the flowers. That's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to vow to live a better life. Okay, your role as a man is not to assault, degrade, and demean women, especially for notice she's just friendly playing around with you. And that's how you came at her. So it's like you can't even be friendly with a woman. There's nobody can have fun with you. Dude, you better get your little shit together. You still young enough you can turn this around, but don't do this anymore. Don't ever talk to people like this. Okay, question number 10, female 21 to 26 from Oakland, California. Hello, Deb. I have a very frustrating dilemma. This child, my cousin, is 8 years old and very disrespectful and bad. My whole family lives together. My aunt has custody of him, and my mother and her basically raise him together. He is spoiled rotten, and she put that in caps. He gets whatever he wants, no matter how bad he misbehaves. They let him watch TV all night long, keep all the lights on all night, his toys all over the floor, and he has a bad habit of hitting people, especially girls. Always asking, do they want to fight? And he hits me all the time. If I hit him back or try any form of discipline, my aunt will get upset with me and say I'm bullying him. He has hit me with a bat. What? Thrown hard toys at me, and even spit in my face once. My aunt always laughs at his behavior and calls him cute and funny. How can I deal with this child when he acts disrespectful and his grandmother won't do anything about it but laugh? What you need to do is move out. Okay, you in the 21 to 26 age group, get you a place with a couple of friends or something, move the fuck out and don't ever go back. If your mother wants to see you, you meet her out somewhere. And the second that they get to acting stupid, you get up and you leave. Now, I'm going to tell you why you need to do that. He's only 8 now. In 5 years, he'll be a 13-year-old teenager getting the muscle mass and upper body strength of an adult male. Okay, by the time he's 15, if he starts swinging on people and doing this kind of stuff that he's doing now, people are going to be hurt and possibly killed. You know what's in this boy's future? Juvenile hall and prison. That's what's in his future. And that's what you need to tell your mother and your aunt while they laugh and say, you know, his behavior is that of somebody who's going to end up in prison for the rest of their life because he's going to do something like that to the wrong person and they're going to come back and they're going to be attacking him or they're going to attack you because you with him and all y'all gonna die. If he makes it through that, he'll be in prison because he done hit the wrong person's daughter. And some of these daddies don't play. Okay, and they don't give a fuck that you 8 years old. They will kill you anyway because you hit their daughter. So, by the time he's 13, 14, 15, he's going to be big like a grown man. And they will drop his ass. And y'all will be going to a funeral. So you need to tell them that this is what's in his future. And I said so. And what he's going to end up doing, because they're not teaching him any respect or discipline. So he is an unmannered, wild child. And folks in Oakland and Richmond are crazy. These men aren't wrapped too tight. He gonna run up on the wrong person's daughter. I'm telling you, these little street niggas, man, they have daughters too, and they're very protective. And your little nephew is gonna do something, and he's gonna be missing. Okay, and they're gonna be wondering where he is. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Now, he didn't bite her though. He spit on her. You spit back, or he wanna, hit you with a bat. When he puts it down, you pick it up and you hit him. See, a lot of times, they don't realize that this stuff hurts because they've never experienced it. He sounds like he's got some problems. Was your aunt using drugs when she was pregnant with him or something? This is not normal 8-year-old behavior. There's something wrong with this kid. But with me, see, I don't care because it's like, you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you back. So your aunt would be, talking about you gonna get upset and stuff like that. Say, I don't give a fuck because you didn't do shit about it when he was hurting me, so I'm gonna hurt him. And if you get in my face too much, I'll hurt you too. So you train your son to act like he got some goddamn sense, and then we won't have this problem. Another thing you can do, they have these programs with the Oakland Police Department, and you could call them and say, I need an officer to come out here and have a chat with my nephew and tell him some of the stuff he's done. And say, you have a neighborhood officer who could come by and put him in cuffs and put him in the back of the police car and give him a what for and have my auntie screaming and stuff. Don't let them in on it. Just let it be a surprise. So they come to the house and ask for the kid by name. So I've gotten reports of him assaulting women and girls. I'm going to arrest him. You know what I mean? Don't let them know that it's part of this program. And they was part of his little ass out to the car. And your auntie and your mother get to scream and holler and act a fool and say, oh, no, he's too young. He's too young. It's like, no, ma'am, he's really not. And stuff like that. Do that. Call them up and see what that is. I hope they still have that program. And if not, shit, just see if you can give a flight officer $50 or something. They'll do it. Question number 11, female 26 to 29 from Memphis, Tennessee. I've been gaining a lot of weight lately, mainly because I've been mostly sedentary due to working from home. I'm 210 and I'm 5'4". I must admit that I'm currently the heaviest I've ever been, but I've been making steps to improve my health, such as going to the gym multiple times a week and incorporating more healthy foods into my diet. I feel so depressed about how much weight I've gained, and I'm constantly beating myself up about it. One thing that truly bugs me is the comments my parents make about my weight. I currently live with them, so it's not like I can go talking to them, not talking to them for days. A lot of times I brush it off, but sometimes they really get under my skin. When I bring food into the house, my dad makes a noise that says, "Oh Lord, you don't need to be eating that." It doesn't matter if I have a salad or what. That's always his first comment. I got McAllister's DoorDash to me the other day. I guess that's a chain down there somewhere. And as soon as I picked up my order and walked back in the house, my dad says, "Dang," and starts laughing. It's so annoying. He used to say, "You need to lose that weight," years ago when I was younger, but he stopped since I've gotten older. I confided in my mom about how much I want to lose weight and have been trying to stick with my meal plan. I feel more comfortable talking to her about it, but sometimes she makes comments about my weight and eating habits too. She's never outright called me fat before, luckily, but sometimes she'll see me bring in something and she'll ask me what it is, and I'll tell her, and she'll be like, "Yeah, make sure you stick to your diet." I've been working out several times a week now, and she knows this. Tell me why she asked me, "You still going to the gym?" At least 3 times a week. Like, lady, you know I am. She called me today to talk about something, and so I had to say, "You still healthy, right?" I get that she's concerned, but it irritates me when she constantly says anything in reference to my weight. Could it be that I'm overreacting since I'm already depressed about my weight, or are my parents doing too much? Rolls eyes. Sound like they're doing too much to me. But you know, the main thing that you need to do is stop buying food. That you will lose weight just on that alone. Now, I don't know. Does anybody know what McAllister's is? What is McAllister's? Oh, one of the Oakland funeral homes used to do that? Oh shit, I like that. That sounds good. Anybody know what McAllister's is? What kind of place that is? It's a deli. Okay, so she's getting a sandwich. Girl. Okay, a deli. Okay. You don't never need to eat that. I want you to go on their website because well, I don't know about there. I've never heard of this chain, so I don't think they have one in California, at least not up in Northern California. But anyway, in California, anybody restaurant who does business in this state is required to have on their website the nutritional breakdown of all food items that they sell. I don't know if they do that, where you Memphis. I don't know what the rules are there. But you still be able to get some kind of nutritional idea of what the calorie count, the fat count, sodium count is of and cholesterol, that kind of stuff of the food that you're eating. And I think you'll be shocked at what how many calories you're ingesting. If you're 5'4", let me see how old are you? You're in the 26 to 29 age group. So you need to knock off at least 60 pounds. At least, okay? Because you're awfully young and you should be, let's start with like 50, 60 pounds and then go from there. Um, you And watch salads because even though you get a salad, you put cheese and meat and eggs and avocado and beets and all this shit, corn and all the stuff they have at them salad bars, and then you dump it with some kind of fatty dressing. Well, now that salad that you think is such a diet salad is 1,800 calories. That's your whole day's calories in one meal. Okay, so this is not good. What you need to do is you have a job, right? Ask your doctor for a referral to a nutritionist. They will put you on a program that's going to be a nice balance of stuff. They will give you recipes. You will start cooking at home, and the money that you waste in buying all this high calorie, high fat, high sodium food, you will start making your meals, or you will bring your lunch to work or school, wherever you're going, and that's what you're going to do. As far as what your parents are doing, you need to sit them both down and say, "Look, I'm tired of you talking to me like that. It's not motivating me to do any better. It just sounds like you hate me and I can't stand it. Do you guys want me when I move out to never speak to you again? Because that's where we're going." Now, this may not be what you feel, but I'm telling you what you need to say to them. You need to shock the fuck out of them. Say, "You sound like you hate me. It makes me feel terrible. You're supposed to be people in my corner that love me and support me, and instead all you do is attack me over and over and remind me of how I'm failing and I'm not good enough. You're horrible parents. Horrible." That's what I would tell them. Girl, and then turn on the waterworks. Just, do a Joan Crawford on them and just, make them feel bad. That's what you need to do. And say, "I don't need to hear this 5 times a day, even 5 times a week. Okay, I'm going to see a nutritionist. I'm going to get a meal plan. And if you can't say anything good to me, then don't say anything at all, and I'll work it out myself." It's a healthy deli. It doesn't even matter because when you got somebody this overweight, she should not be eating any kind of bread at all. No bread. No bread. Okay, so unless you got a deli salad with like oil and vinegar dressing or something, then you whatever calories you ate, it was too way too many. This I know. And lunch meat is high fat and high sodium. It's just not good. You cook your food at home. You can bake you some chicken, bake a whole chicken. Slice that shit up and you can have chicken salad sandwiches, you can have chicken burgers, you can have chicken on your salad, you can have all kind of stuff with the chicken and some side of vegetables. That's all you need. Your parents are jerks, but you do what I said and you rub that guilt in on them. They'll be all right. Question number 12. This is a female in the 30 to 36 age group from Derby in the UK. My ex-husband and I have a 6-year-old son together. He left me nearly 5 years ago for another woman, and I have been single the whole time until now. I've met a lovely man, and we're so happy. We used to work together 30 years ago. Well, damn. That must be a typo if you're only in the 30 to 36 age group. Anyway, new man is going to meet my son, and we're having a day out. He's not staying over. I just wondered how and when I should tell my ex about this. Obviously, I anticipate my son will mention it. I don't know why I feel so uneasy. I think it's because I've been on my own this whole time and it changes the dynamic and I'm expecting my ex to get chippy about it. I get on fine with my ex now, but I can't help thinking that he likes the fact that I'm single and that there's no other man in our son's life. It's kind of none of his business, but then again, it is. Am I overthinking this? Absolutely. Because, all you have to do is remind him, excuse you, homeboy, when we were married, you had a girlfriend, so I'm single and I can have a boyfriend and there's nothing you can say about it. So shut up. That's all you have to say to him. I don't know why you trying to give him all this power and influence over your life. He can't do nothing. Yeah, your son's gonna mention it. And then if he asks you about it, say, yeah, I've met someone who's really, really nice and I'm glad he's so different from you. Such a nice guy, such a wonderful man. I wish I had met him first. Just think of all the joy I could have had in my life and all the time and years that I would not have wasted on your trifling two-bit piece of shit ass. I'm such a lucky girl. I'm just like, I don't know why they be thinking about what they ex. He's your ex and he cheated on you, and you sitting up there worrying about his feelings. Shit, I would be sending him a postcard of me fucking. That's what I would be doing. Say, look, his dick is bigger than yours too. I done lucked out. He's nicer than you, and his dick is bigger. This just like the trifecta of joy in my life. That's what I would do, because I would rub his nose in it. But I'm a terrible person. I realize this. But yeah, I wouldn't be thinking giving a shit about what he thought. And if he has, things saying, who told you you could think anyway? Shut up. You obviously don't not good at it because you thought that you should go out fucking around when you had a wife and son at home. So your thinking processes are not stellar. Okay? You're remedial, sir. That's what you tell his ass. I'm like, my thing is when it comes to fucking over people, my imagination just goes wild. It's like, how can I fuck him up? How can I do something that's going to mess his head up for the next 27 years? What can I do? Do, no, 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 no. Do, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. See? That's it. Let's move on. Question number 13. This is from a male in the 26 to 29 age group from Houston, Texas. I found out that my supervisor was talking smack about me behind my back and we need advice on how to handle it. I've been sick for a few days with digestive issues. Oh, thank you for being polite. And a fever, and I missed work. I, of course, notified my supervisor about this, and she said to take care of myself and wish me a speedy recovery. Turns out she complained about me missing work all week and how inappropriate it is to her supervisor and our V. Well, I guess that means VP, vice president. I don't know what a V is. And basically made me look terrible. I usually don't work directly with them, and she tends to take credit for a lot of my work. Luckily, she's leaving soon. Dad, what do you think is the right way to handle this situation? On the one hand, I really want to confront her, but on the other, I'm aware it's not going to be helpful in any way and will also expose the person who told me about this. That's it? Well, if she's leaving, who gives a fuck? Did you tell the person to be secretive? I mean, if she said this thing and she was going around saying it to a bunch of different people, she's not going to know who told you. So don't worry about that. But what you do need to do is go and to talk to her and say, look, I'm aware of this is how you do, and I'm gonna make a suggestion because I know you leaving. I'm gonna make a suggestion. When you go to your next job, don't be a bitch. Don't be trying to backstab people. It was already bad enough you tried to take credit for my work, and now you're trying to throw me under the bus because I got sick. See, that's not good character. You better hope they don't call me and ask for a reference because I'm gonna tell them that you ain't shit. Would I say that to my supervisor who was leaving? Oh, absolutely. Knowing me, I would say it whether they left or not because I'm just that evil and I just don't care. But the bottom line is, if unless it's something to do with your work, which it was not, she has no business to tell anybody anything because talking about your sickness and stuff like that is a HIPAA violation. And you need to let her know that. And I'm probably going to go to HR and say that. So, I was sick, but it's nobody's business to be. I told her because she's my supervisor, but she's going around telling everybody in the firm that's inappropriate and it's a violation of my privacy. All they need to know is that I'm not at work, not why. And now, something that you could talk to HR about because that is a very real violation that she did. So you think about how you want to handle it, but see me, yeah, it does. But see, since she's leaving anyway, so they probably already gave her, you know what I mean? They already checked her references, and so they already gave her a good one. But it would be something to note on her chart for the future. So in case that doesn't work out, because they always put you on a probation, or she decides she doesn't want to be there, whatever, she's gonna put this employment down as a for a reference, and they're gonna give her a fucked up one, and that's what I would be going for. So would you hire? That box where they say, "Would you hire this person again?" Check no. Check no. I sure wouldn't. Okay, let's move on. Question 14. Notice this time I did my one page, that back and forth thing I accidentally did last time. I was like, oh no, let me to make sure I check print single sided. Okay, question 14, female, 30 to 36 from the UK. This is a what would Deb do question. Oh, good. It's one of my favorites. So my husband went to work at 7:30 this morning. I had breakfast. I watched Love Island and then started cleaning the house. We've been having some messy building work done and it was a tip. So I just been cleaning and doing house jobs until he rang me to say that he was on his way home at 4. I'd prepped some salad bits during the day for tea, and we decided we'd have it as soon as my husband got back. So I got everything out and ready, and we ate. Because I was on my feet all day, I was having a bit of pain from a recent sports injury, and I mentioned it to him. After we'd finished eating, my husband gets up and says, "You can make me a cup of tea." And I went and sat on the sofa, and he went and sat on the sofa and put the telly on. I love all these UK terms. I'm gonna start saying that. Oh, the bits and the telly. Okay, so then she says, I cleared the table, put all the leftovers away. I fed the dogs. I loaded the dishwasher. I swapped a load of washing over. All things he would know that needed doing. There are some clean clothes on the sofa waiting to be folded, which he just sat next to. And I made him a cup of fucking tea. If your man is generally a good partner, what would they have done in this scenario? Y'all can answer that. If your man is generally a good partner, what would they have done in this scenario? That's what she's asking. Is it normal for the wife to have to do everything? I know the stereotype is that men do nothing and women do everything, but is that true? Because he'd been at work, does that mean it's all right that I've done that? He has a manual job, but he was only doing easier tasks today, so it wasn't like he was flat out. I'm struggling with him at the minute and trying to figure everything out. I don't know what a good relationship should look like. I'm prepared for honest answers either way. I just know if it was the other way around, I would have at least helped until everything was done and we could both sit down. How would you have handled this? I would have cussed him out. I would have cussed him out. It's like he would have go take his little fat ass and sit on the couch. He would have been every kind of motherfucker I could have thought of. And say, get your fat ass up and get in here and help do these dishes and put this food away and stuff. What the fuck? You think my name is Mabel and I'm your maid? Motherfucker, no. Get yourself in here and don't you dare sit on that couch until we both ready to sit on that couch. Your work ain't no more important than mine, and I plus I got a sports injury too, and I'm still standing on my feet. And you want to sit your fat ass down? You better get in here. Now, had he not done that and said, "No, I'm not going to do it," you know what I would have done? I would have made him a cup of tea and then thrown it on him. That's what I would have done. And it would have been like, oops, I tripped. Oh my God, what can I say? My leg. I told you my leg was tired from standing on it all day. Oh, I'm sorry, my leg just folded out from under me. Are you okay? Burnt the fuck out that fucker. And then played the game like I was oh so sorry. And then laughed when he wasn't looking. Say that'll teach ya. Yes, I'm learning to be passive aggressive. I learned that from white people. Because, black people just tend to be very direct and assertive and aggressive. But that's the other side, the other part, they do passive aggressive things. And I'm learning, I've been studying them. I'm like, oh, okay, this works in certain situations. I can do this. I can do this. Yeah, it was a mishap. I stumbled. My leg gave out. I told you my leg was hurting. You knew I was injured. I was standing on my feet all day and my leg just gave out. Oh my God, what a tragedy. Are you burnt? Oh, let's run some cold water on it. Sitting up there with his arm afire. Like, wow, this is really messed up, honey. I'm so sorry. Question number 15. Oh, yeah, make you. That's another one, but he wouldn't even that make your own tea because he would be in the kitchen in a way. He wouldn't be doing anything to help load the dishes and stuff. Oh no, nobody get no goddamn tea. You get in here and do these fucking dishes. That's what you gonna do. Question 15, female 21 to 25 from Topeka, Kansas. Hi, Deb. I come from a family of 6 kids. My oldest sister's black. The rest of us half black and half white. Our father is black. My mother is by no means prejudiced, but most of her family is, and they're standoffish towards us and her for marrying a black man. I grew up around my black family. I was raised in the projects with black cultural ethics and experienced many of the issues and negative stigmas in the black community. Always had it drilled into me, in fact, despite the fact that my mom is white, that I'm a black woman. I always went by this when it came to paperwork like school state testing for school, medical records, and stuff like that. Okay, while my siblings have variations of caramel tones, I'm very fair skinned like my mother, but with black features. My face is a feminine replica of my dad's. My lips are very full. I have a curvy figure with wide hips and big butt. I have a deep voice like many of the black women in my family, and I have a dark 3C/4A hair. My dad tells us I'm high yellow, but I should always represent my black roots. Oh God, I hate that slave term. This shouldn't be an issue except that white people come out of pocket when they learn that I'm half black. When I went for my vaccine, the lady with the checklist asked if I was Hispanic or Latino. When I said no, she checked my ethnicity as Caucasian when I could have been any other ethnicity on that list. I looked at her evenly and said, I'm African American too, to which she looked me up and down and gave me an odd look. I have a slight Ebonic twang, and my coworkers say things like, why do you talk black? Can you say the N word? Oh, no, they don't. Further demeaning includes holding their arm up next to mine and saying something like, how are you black? I'm white and I'm darker than you. I get asked if I'm albino or one of those white Africans. This has happened on multiple occasions at work. And you don't light them up? Where's your black side? You need to let her out. White people already treat others differently if they don't look like them, but when they meet an ethnic person who is the same color as them, I'm being teased because I'm not black enough by people who aren't even black. It's hard to explain, but I'm so tired of the comments I get about my skin. I've started snapping at people. I never have this issue with black folks. We come in all different shades, but we can't win. We look too different or we're not different enough. Can you and the squad please give me some advice on how to deal with people who make comments about my skin in a professional setting? I would definitely appreciate a black woman's insight. So you guys hear that? So you guys, whatever I thought you have on this, a light-skinned young lady with black features that they can't tell is black. So they're making all these comments and then questioning her blackness. What would Deb do? I would be like, okay, do you know how white and racist you sound writing about now? You don't question my blackness. Who the hell are you? That's so fucking inappropriate, so rude, and so unprofessional. Don't talk to me like that. Get out of my face before I go to HR and file a charge against you for racial harassment and discrimination. Get away from me with your racist nonsense. That's how you got to say stuff like that and light them up. You don't have to call them a motherfucker not at work. But you definitely, you got that gravelly, deep black woman voice. Use that shit. Light their asses up. and tell them about themselves. Like, how are you? Black, I'm white, and I'm darker than you. You know, black comes in 400 different shades, and if you was anything, you got learned anything from your history classes or read anything other than Fun with Dick and Jane, you would know that. You know, make it a point to learn something about the rest of the people in the country that don't look like you. You're showing your ignorance right about now, and it's not attractive at all. In 2021, and this is the best you could do. You know, shame them. That always works. Make them look stupid, which is really not far from the truth. They are acting very ignorant to say some shit like that. See, me, you know, and my mother was like that. My father was, you know, the browner skinned one, and my mother was very, very fair. And, you know, with the little aquiline nose and the whole thing. She thin lips. I mean, she looked just aside from white, to tell you the truth. But you know, she went by. She would never say that she was anything else. So I understand because I remember my mother saying, you know, some things like that, especially when she would speak very, you know, my mother was educated. She was an RN. So she was very educated and very articulate. And, you know, people would make comments like, oh, you know, you just speak so well for a black person. And they think that that's a compliment. I'm like, God, are white people really this stupid? Or they say stuff like, oh, you know, you're not a typical black person. Now I heard that myself. And this was in the 80s. You know, I was just young. And this woman told me that you're not a typical black person. And I was all of maybe, I don't know, 15, 16. And I remember looking at her saying, so how do you know what a typical black person is? Was something you saw on TV? You know, I'm just a kid, and really wanted to know. And so she got red and embarrassed. Well, I know. I mean, I said, no, you're going by racial stereotypes, and you think that all black people are all one way because that's what you saw on TV. That sounds really stupid. And you know, as a 16 to 17-year-old, you can get away with that kind of stuff, right? So that's what I said to her. You sound really stupid, and she left my ass alone. But you know, I don't play with white people about stuff like that. Don't come at me crazy. Don't say shit. I told you about that white girl I had to choke in the bathroom that time talking about, you know, if we weren't friends, I would take him from you. I jacked that bitch up against the wall and tried to choke the shit out of her and told her about how what she better not ever say to another black woman as long as she lives. She was so scared of me she quit after that because every time I saw that bitch, I was looking at her with my Malcolm X look. Like, bitch, I will get the posse up in here. Oh, that was your question, Onyx? Thank you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, I see your picture. Girl, you gorgeous. Yeah, don't you worry about them. But you light their asses up and you make sure that you tell them that call them racist, inappropriate, unprofessional, that they're stereotyped, they have stereotypical ideas of what an African American is. You know, give them like the elevator speech education about their racism because that's what that is. That fact that you have in your mind an idea of what black people look like, what color they are, how they talk, what they should look like. Like we're just one big, you know, there's just one of us. And we all just one bit and piece of the same thing. Just like white people have well educated professional business people and then they have trailer park trash, hillbillies, and everybody else in between. We're exactly the same. Okay, there is no one monolithic black person. Stop it, white people. Get your shit together. That's just so stupid. Oh my God. But yes, I have lit up a couple of white folks in my life when you're coming at me with that bullshit. So that's what you do, okay? And if you have any confusion, just write me back. I'll tell you know, just say that we did your letter on the show and you have a follow up or something, and then Candace will give it to me. Because other than that, everything that's from the advice stuff goes into the folder and I don't go in it. So you have to say, Candace, give this to Deb, and then she'll do it. Okay. Question number 16. This is a female in the 21 to 26 age group from Oakland, California. Hey Deb, I'm going on 24 and I know we got a couple of letters from Oakland today. What's up, Oakland? I'm going on 24 and I need some help. I'm a late bloomer and I consider myself to be behind. I'm just now getting a car in my own apartment and I'm also just now going to finish up my last 2 years of college. I've always been kind of a loner and as I grew up very sheltered in a strict religious upbringing, I was never allowed to really engage my peers growing up and my social life is non-existent as of now. I had one friend but nipped it because they were acting competitive and fake with me. Now I don't have any. Do you have any tips on how I could make friends and build relationships with people outside my family? I'm very intellectual and I find it difficult. I feel like I'm missing out by not really having any friends. Please help me. Friends, you might be intellectual, but that's a side that you need to put put aside. Because your friends don't give a shit about how smart you are. That's not why people are friends with you. And if you always in your head, you can't relate to people with your heart. That's what you need to be a friend. Understanding, supportive, funny, and a joy to be around. If you always in your head being intellectual, you're basically putting a wall up between you and other people. Because the only thing that an intellectual can relate to is a book or a test tube or a microscope or some shit, and that's inanimate objects. Okay, people relate to each other because of feelings. The feelings that they have when they're with you, and the feelings that you inspire them to have when you're around them. Okay, so keep that in mind. How do you make other people feel? If you can make other people laugh and want to be around you and seek out your company and counsel and conversation with you and stuff because they know you're always going to be having them laughing and you're just a joy to be around, then you will automatically, even if they're not friends, you will always be surrounded by people that want to be around you. That's my problem. I just be fighting them off. Yeah. Oh, leave me alone. But if you just have that kind of energy, but it requires that you have confidence to let yourself, be vulnerable. And a lot of intellectuals don't, and they hide behind oh, my IQ is 180 and stuff like that. And it's like nobody cares because nobody will be your friend because you have a high IQ. They just, I mean, it's good that you let me know that because, that's evidently something that's important to you, but it's not going to make you any friends running around talking about I'm intellectual because nobody cares. Now, if you want to use your intellect, join Mensa or something. There's a bunch of intellects and they all sit around and bore each other to half to death. Or, a chess club or something. I don't know. What do smart people do? I don't know. Stuff was opening up, but they keep this new variant. They about to close everything back up again because even people with inoculations are catching this new shit. So I don't know what's about to go on there. But you got to also factor in, okay, don't beat yourself up too much because since all this, C-19 stuff has been going on, ain't nobody having a social life. So don't feel bad. We're not having a social life. We just most people interact online unless it's just your immediate family because it's too risky to be going around in big crowds of people and stuff. So what I'm gonna suggest is that okay, when is our pajama party? It's this Saturday, on the 24th. Come to the pajama party with us, and you'll get to see how women is like what everybody. A lot of very smart, successful, educated women movers and shakers and stuff come to this channel, all from all over the world, all different ages, all different ethnicities. But you know what we all have in common? We like and respect each other. Okay, so that's why we come. The people that come here, they are here for every single show that I do. They got my back. They are like just like friends, and we talk and we laugh. They send me emails, all kind of stuff. So we, interact with each other outside of the show. But if you want to learn how to be a friend and see what that dynamic looks like, come on Saturday night to the girls' night out thing, just called Deb's Pajama Party, and we just gonna be hanging out, and you'll get to see how this works, and then you can just emulate it, and then you can have your some friends. Okay, there you go. Yeah, do smart people do like to read, but again, that's a solitary thing. If you don't, you have to have a social group. She needs a social group first. She's got all that part down, but she wants to have some human interaction outside of her books, and stuff like that. Yeah. Like I said, my husband was very intellectual. Everywhere he went, that man had a book, if not two. But he knew he would dance and he would party. He would play dominoes and talk and, spades and talk shit and play loud. Just he was just a lot of fun and a very well-rounded person. So it's like you don't have to be one or the other. You can incorporate all of that. But what I'm saying is, you're going to relate to people on a human level, put that intellectual stuff aside for a few minutes and relate to people on a feelings level because that's what they're looking for. How do you make them feel? And if you can figure out, what that's all about, then you'll have friends and people won't be able to get, to stay. They will just want to be around you because you just make them laugh and smile and feel happy. Okay? And you're only 24. You got plenty of time to get this right. But you come to the thing on Saturday. Even if you only stay an hour or so, I want you to see that dynamic and see how that works. And see the shit that we talked to. Okay? Question number 17. This is a male in the 30 to 35 age group from Toronto, Canada. Some guys just get what they can attract with women who they are just okay with and learn to love, semicolon. Some get a lot of money and famous, then get something better. Also, like they upgrade. Others, like myself, just continue to be single and keep playing the field to eventually find, quote, the one. Now, there has been, I would say, only two times in my life where I was just head over heels with someone. So it's rare, and I would like to feel that way when I decide to marry someone. But now, since I'm getting older, I just feel like my time is limited, and I might just have to settle down with someone. When I think of this path, it's sad because it's like I would just settle for everything in life. Settle for the career, settle for the woman who you are just lukewarm about, which would make me feel dead inside. But how long can you wait? I'm 30 now, and most people my age are either married with kids in long-term relationships, but other guys are just hopelessly single who never had much luck with women to begin with. It just seems that the girls I want don't want me, and the girls that want me, I don't want them. So I'd rather just be single and keep working on myself. I have dated a bit and now I'm looking for something serious and long term. But I start thinking, do I really want to be with this person? And it's not like a resounding yes, which is how I feel about a lot of people I meet. There is the social pressure to find someone in your 30s as well. And I put pressure on myself too because I would like to find someone, get married, and have kids. But then it would just seem like a task that needs to be done. I guess this isn't a boo-hoo me story, but more of how many people end up like this, do you think? Kind of just settle for someone you are lukewarm about any regrets. Hmm. What is your perspective on these thoughts? My child, you need to be blessed because you on some jungle shit. Okay, let me explain this to you. You call it settling and you call it, someone that you're lukewarm about. And I need you to reframe this. I'm a big one about reframing things because you're looking at this with a very pessimistic view. You have to remember that in your mind, the ideal of the woman that you're crazy about was formed in your teens while you were jacking off to Playboy. That's what your idea of play, or some site you was on. Okay, that's in your mind. That's your ideal woman. Is that realistic? Have you ever dated someone that looked like that, or had those high levels of fantasy associated with them? For 90% of men, the answer is no. The other 10% married them and got taken to the cleaners because they were stupid and made a choice with their wee wee instead of their brain. So what you call settling is really maturity. You realize that this feeling head over heels shit is romantic teenage drivel. As an adult male, you're supposed to like and respect and be it love the woman that you're with. Do you have to be head over heels with her? Absolutely not. What you have to do is admire her, respect her, and understand what she brings to your life that would make it better than what it is now. Okay, so you call that settling, and I'm telling you, you need to reframe that because you're looking at it as you changing your selection criteria to be realistic and that of a grown man as being like you lost something instead of you gained something. You gained a perspective. You gained an understanding of what's really important that's going to keep you happy long term. That shit that you talking about that you made your wee wee hard when you was a teenager and you fell in love and you thought that this was the best thing since sliced bread, that shit doesn't last. And most of the people that you have those feelings with aren't shit. They wouldn't make a good wife. They definitely wouldn't make a good mother. All they did was make your dick hard. Okay? But see, a lot of men, young men especially, that's how you choose a wife. And it makes no fucking sense at all. So what you're doing, you're going through a process right now where you're finally growing the fuck up. That's what's happening. So you think about what I'm saying And if it helps you, make a written list of what kind of qualities you want in a wife, okay? Not, and you know, the other stuff, the physical attraction, I mean, that's, you want that too. But that shouldn't be the top of your list. You should be looking at someone who's loyal, who respects you, who respects you and your parent, who's capable of loving you and your mother and your father, who would be willing to be of service to them as they age and help you take care of them and still show them love and concern, who would be a great mother, protective, wanting to teach her children things, spend time with them, someone who can cook and and there's a lot of fun to be around, so you're always laughing, your heart feels light when she shows up at your house or at your job or in your door. You pick her up in your car, you start to smile because you look at her and you know you're going to have fun. She brings warmth and joy to your heart. That's the kind of stuff you look for in a wife, you idiot. You sitting up here talking about all this silly stuff. So it just shows me that you're going through a process and you're going to finally come to the other side of it and realize that you're not settling. You just finally woke up and smelled the coffee. You better watch out. You're going to run into a Leandra type and you'll be sorry. Okay, let's move on to question number 18. This is a young lady, 30 to 36, from Colchester, England. I've been separated from my ex-husband for around 5 years now, and I'm quite wary of starting a new relationship after this disastrous marriage. I have a male friend who I've been in nice connection with, and recently he's asked if I'd be interested in something more. I said I really don't want to lead him on, and I'm not convinced I'm cut out for relationships. Plus, I still have issues with my ex to sort through before I consider another relationship. For some reason, though, over the past month or so, he's gone from no pressure and respecting my boundaries to sending me random flowers and gifts. His messages have also become very full on, lots of telling me how amazing I am. And everything he says, he clarifies it with, quote, "You can trust me." Oh, really? Like he thinks I haven't heard that before. He seems to be under the impression that because my ex turned out to be abusive at the end, that he must have started out that way. He was surprised when I said my relationship with my ex started out lovely. He was loving and attentive and gave me no reason not to trust him. Things went awry when I was pregnant with our daughter. A cycle of nice, nasty behavior and a couple of random flings with work colleagues when he worked away, the second of which became serious and he left me for her. Anyway, like most people, I've heard all the "trust me, I'd never hurt you" stuff before, so I've been trying to gently explain that I can't just automatically trust him, but he seems to think I can. And him saying things like, "When I say this, I mean it, unlike your ex-husband." It feels cringy, and instead of making me want to consider exploring a relationship with him, it's actually starting to give me the icks. Last night, his messages were so over the top I was close to blocking him. "You must trust me, I'm one of the good guys. I'm going to book a hotel," he lives about 2 hours away, "and spend a few days with you and prove what kind of person I am." I felt suffocated and railroaded into agreeing with him. When he knows I'm on my own with my daughter, I'm lucky if I get a child-free afternoon for a coffee or a meal. I can't entertain him for a few days. I'd be open to talking about arranging a date that suits us, but I refuse to feel pressured into being a few days. But that's not good enough. He's intent on steaming ahead because, quote, "I should be over it by now." Wow, this dude is doing the most. Finally, I got upset with the whole thing and told him that everything he's saying I've heard before and that he's being way too pushy, was wanting to come for a visit, and that he's getting ahead of himself in general because I've always been very clear saying I still have trust issues to work through and I don't even feel like a relationship. He doesn't get to tell me when I should be over it. Now he's in a massive huff. He's shocked and stunned and surprised by what I said. Once again, I reminded him that I've always been upfront about not wanting to start a relationship, and he knows I'm still working through what went on in my marriage. We're not even divorced yet, Deb. I'd felt really comfortable talking to this guy. He's been a good friend. But now I feel like he's just getting me to open up so he can slowly reel me in the hopes that he could change my mind, and I don't like how that feels. I tried to speak to him on a neutral topic this morning, and he ignored me. Then he just messaging saying he's still upset with me. I suggested we talk it through, but he refused. I understand he didn't like what I said, but it's all just getting to be too much. Somehow he's managed to make it all about him, and I found myself apologizing for expressing my feelings. It took me a long time to fix my boundaries, and I don't feel like compromising them now just to please him. I'm left wondering, do I even try and salvage this friendship? Your advice and suggestions are welcome. Well, damn, you wrote a fucking novel. At least it was interesting. But I'll tell you what, this is what you're going to do. First, you're going to send him a text, and your text is going to say two words: fuck you. That's what it's going to say. And then you're going to block him. Okay? Now, I don't like the way that he's being pushy. This is the kind of thing he's like, your boundaries, he's totally ignoring them. This is dangerous man. Unfortunately, you did not heed my warning where I tell women all the time, do not be telling men your business. You should never have told him all the stuff about your husband and your marriage and what you went through and your emotional turmoils and what hurt you and all this old shit. All you did was load him up with ammunition to try to use against you. I don't know what would possess you to tell him that. Why would you do that? You might have told your sister, but some sisters ain't even too cool. This the kind of shit you go and hire a psychiatrist for and you tell them. Okay? And then you get up and you go on with your life. And he's sending you flowers and gifts. You know what? Flowers and stuff. Show the flowers in the garbage can and send him a picture of them. Or better yet, cut up with your scissors. And it's all mounted on a piece of newspaper. Send him a picture of that. And whatever the gift was he sent you, take a camera to it and smash it to smithereens and send him a picture of that. And you say, this is what I think about you and your gifts when I told you fuck off and leave me alone. So he wouldn't want to mess with me. And you too nice. You're using all these words. And it's like, oh, I'm not cut out for a relationship, but I have things to sort out. All those other things. Say all you had to do is say, hell no, I'm not fucking with you like that. I can't stand you like that. I'm not interested in you like that ever. If it was the last two people on earth, I still wouldn't fuck you. If there was two women and just you, I still wouldn't fuck you with her pussy. Okay, so that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Get your hopes down, cause it ain't gonna happen. Okay? I'm not interested in you like that. I'm not interested in any man. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to be gay. Because, the way I feel right now, anything with a dick, I don't want to be bothered. You can tell them all kind of fucked up shit like that. Even if it's not true, you just say it anyway. Why? Because you can. I like, I don't know. You know me. Like I told you, when people do stupid stuff, so my imagination starts going over into overdrive, and I just start thinking about stuff I could say and do that would just fuck them up. And that would be on my agenda. And he's in a massive huff, and he's shy. You know what I mean? That's what you tell him. Fuck him, fuck you, you little bitch. You're sitting up there trying to be in a huff like you a little bitch. What kind of man gets in a huff and pouts and shit like that? You. That's why I don't want to fuck you, because you just a bitch. And I'm not gay. I'm like, these men are just, something's wrong with this person. But you don't do what I did. I'm telling you anyway. Never mind all that. I'm just having fun with it. Send him back a text and say, fuck you, and then block him. That's what you're going to do. That's my suggestion to end this. I'm just like, you're so nice, though, because I would have been cussed him out. Question number 19, male 26 to 29 from Coral Springs, Florida. A friend was telling me this story about a guy that he works with whose wife was tagging along with him to a bachelor party. Wait a minute, what? That she isn't invited to but attended to, quote, keep an eye on him. I said, are you serious? We both thought it was really weird and it would make the entire night extremely awkward if the wife was there. This wife obviously had some control and trust issues, not letting her husband go on his own, being with his male buddies. Bachelor parties are meant for men only, doing guy stuff. Same with bachelorette parties, meant for ladies only. I never heard of someone's SO tagging along. Is this a new thing? I couldn't imagine just showing up at a guy's bachelor party tagging along with my wife. It would be weird for everyone involved. Even if it was a PG all guys party, that wouldn't feel right. I've only been to two bachelorette parties. Yep, two or three. I can't remember if I attended three. One couple was only married a few years. All three parties, it was all women. It would have been bizarre if a lady's husband or boyfriend came along. I would think the guy's a straight five clinger. Yeah, but you know what? I fought the dude whose party it was because he's a little bitch. How you gonna let somebody come in your bachelor party and fuck it all up with their wife? See, what he was supposed to do is meet them at the door, and when he opened the door, he would have been like, "Okay, let me tell you, if this was me and it was my bachelor party, let me, because I'm just gonna flip into this role." Okay, ding dong. Hey, Joe, who's that? Oh, this is my wife Sherry. She wants to come to the party. Hell no, slam the door. Okay, ding dong. Just I'm like, Joe, what? What, Joe? Well, my wife wants to come. Okay, there's no this is a no bitch zone. Okay, no bitches. Okay, men only. So, you want to be with the bitch, you go home and be with the bitch. You're not going to bring the bitch to my bachelor party. That's a no no. We don't want to little turn around and look at no bitches that's not a stripper. Okay, so do I make myself clear? Both of y'all poof be gone and go on away and go home. And that would have been that. And so she would have got her husband the way she wanted to. And he would have learned a valuable lesson in whatever you wanted, whatever she railroads you into, that don't have nothing to do with me. Okay? And that would have been that. I'm not understanding why the dudes, it's a bunch of wimpy ass dudes. They were supposed to tell him to take your bitch and get the fuck out. You ruining the party. You sitting up there, you milk toast motherfucker. Well, she could be whatever distrusting she want to be, but you're gonna be at that at your house. Okay, you're not gonna be that over here fucking up my bachelor party that I want to create some really trifling memories of before I go and be a solid married man. Tonight I'm gonna be a fuck up fool. I'm gonna be drunk. I'm gonna act a complete fool and say all kind of rowdy, raucous things. And I don't want to have to feel like I need to tone my shit down because your wife is here. You know what I mean? And don't I say, if you ain't looking at no bitches that ain't a stripper. Okay, bitch, you gonna pull off some clothes and show your titties? If you're not gonna do that, then get the fuck out. Because there's no room for you here. And my friend would have been sad. He would have been upset. Well, how can you talk to my wife like that? Motherfucker, maybe if you talked to her like that, she wouldn't have been dragging herself to try to come to the bachelor party. Little punk ass motherfucker. Yeah, she would be stripping something. Either bitch come in and start stripping or go home. Those are your two options. Okay? That's it. Those are your only two choices. Nah, but I'm just telling, I know me. If I was a dude, they would have both had to leave. I just slam the door. This would have been no issues here. Let's move on. Question 20. This is a young lady at 21 to 26. Oakland, California again. Dang. Hi, Deb. I'm a young woman, 23, who's seeing an African American man for about 7 months, and something very concerning has happened. Uh-oh. Bubbles is crazy up in here. Wait till Saturday night. It's going to be a free for all. And you guys get to participate on the show on Saturday because we're gonna be linking Zoom in so you can call and talk on the phone and be on camera if you want to, or just call on the phone. And I still got to work. Me and Lady Boss got to do a test and figure out how this is gonna work. But in my mind, it works great. But so we can have people. You can be in both places, or either or, talking your shit. You be on here, just telling what you're doing over here, or talking on the phone, talking shit, and they'll still be able to hear it over here on YouTube. So it's gonna be a good time. Okay, so let's finish this. So she's been dating this dude for 7 months and something concerning happened. So we're in his place where he lives with his brother. And we're in his room being intimate. His brother knocks on the door while we're in the middle of it. He gets up and peeps open the door. And they are speaking lowly, and I can't hear what they are saying, but I assumed he was telling his brother to go away or something. Well, he closed the door and came back and told me that his brother heard us and wanted to join in. What? I was in disbelief and really confused, and even more shocked when he said that he had told his brother that he could, but he was just going to talk to me first. Okay. It's going to be on YouTube and Zoom, Sue. Okay. I was extremely uncomfortable and mad. I immediately asked him why he would say that and got so mad I got up and got dressed. He told me, all right, chill. I'm going to tell him no. But I felt like he should have cursed his brother out. I was so furious and scared. I called an Uber as quick as I could and grabbed my pepper spray out of my purse. And after I got dressed, I hurried out of his house and left. I let the Uber meet me down the street because I didn't want to stay anywhere near that place. It was so weird and scary. I blocked the guy's number, but now I'm still shaken up and scared. I feel like I should could have gotten assaulted or something. Deb, what did I miss? What red flags did I miss? I don't know because you don't really say anything about the guy other than, what happened in this immediate situation. So I can't really say what red flags you missed. We would have to, have a lengthy conversation, about different scenarios so I could make that assessment. But I'm going to tell you this. This is why I personally never went to a dude's house and had a roommate. Never did it. I don't trust him. Even if dude was cool, that doesn't mean his roommates are. So you get up to go to the bathroom, you know what I mean? You go in the kitchen to get some water. Dude's knocked out in his room and stuff. So now here you are in the kitchen or in the bathroom by yourself. Well, I don't know that whole scenario. That never. I just didn't like that. So I never went to a situation like that. If a dude didn't live by himself, where I could lock the door and put the chain on from the inside before we went in another room, then I wasn't staying there, and that was it. You gonna come to my house, and then if you come to my house, you ain't spending the night though. You got to leave. You know. This is a horrible, horrible situation. I mean, I'm glad you had enough presence of mind to get the fuck out of there right away, to immediately vacate the premises and go down the street because this dude does not like you the way that you liked him to even tell his brother that that was okay and not bust, like open that door and boop his brother in the face for saying some shit like that. So it just shows you that he does not think of you as his girl. It's just 7 months that you spent with this dude. You just somebody to fuck. Okay, and so he's like, well, yeah, my brother can have a turn because she just pussy out. It's not. I'm not invested in it emotionally at all. Whereas you most likely were thinking that you had some kind of little relationship going with this dude, right? Yeah, this is. All right, all right. I'm gonna tell him no. That means you're gonna open the door to him again. Okay, what if the brother decide that he don't want to? No is not a good enough answer for him. What you gonna do? Now, you made exactly the right decision. You blocked his number. You did everything right. Now, but your final question, what red flag did you miss? I can't even begin to answer that because there's not enough historical information here for me to make any kind of determination about that. Okay? But if you want to reach out to me, by email and follow up, do that. Question 21, female, 26 to 29. Please keep location confidential. I started jogging last month to get some of this weight off and get back in shape after more than a year of not exercising. I used to run around my house, but I switched to going to a park that's about a 30-minute walk from my house. I usually take a bus, but after my workout, I walk back home while listening to a podcast. It's a routine that I look forward to because it just helps me distress after a long day. Last night, I was walking back home from my night jog around 11 p.m. or so. Okay, okay, okay. I live in a somewhat small and safe country, so it was really okay. It's never okay. I was listening to music, just in an overall good mood, when suddenly ahead I saw a car parked. Instinct told me to cross to the other side of the road, but it was busy, so I couldn't cross over immediately, and a guy approached me. I was alarmed, and I moved away. He took his hands up like, oh, no, no, I don't mean any harm. So then I assumed he was lost and needed something, so I paused and listened for a second, and he was like, sex? And I was clearly frightened and moved away and was about to hastily cross the road when he tried to slap my butt, but he missed, so he just hit my thigh or something. In a moment where I was tired from the workout and absent-minded, he saw an opportunity. I was so happy in that moment listening to music and just enjoying the walk. I'm also upset. I had such a productive day yesterday. It was such a perfect way to end the day, and he soured it. I wasn't even feeling up for running that night, but I went anyway because self-discipline or whatever. I even started blaming myself for wearing tights, but they are my workout tights. What else should I have worn? I can't stop blaming myself for thinking about it. Why did I stop to listen? Why? Why did I give him the benefit of the doubt for that smidge of a second? Why didn't I pick up a stone or some sand to throw at him after he did that? That stupid smile on his face. Why can't I fight? Maybe I would have been able to cause him some pain. It was dark, so I couldn't even see his plate number so I could write it down or something. Do I just stop running now or what? I prefer running at night, and the way I have built my entire routine makes this work for me. What do I do now? I feel entirely unsafe. I'm just so fucking tired of men. Oh, join the party. But I'm gonna just tell you something. It's nice that you feel you want to get in shape and all this kind of shit here. Join your little ass a gym, and you go and a lot of them have indoor tracks, or you run on a treadmill. Okay, and you go at some time that's not 11 fucking o'clock at night. Are you crazy? I mean, it's the naiveness here, naivete or whatever. But I'm just gonna break it down in hood style. The naiveness of your whole attitude here that you're gonna be roaming around the street at night, listening to music and being totally blissfully unaware of your surroundings is just plain stupid. Okay, this is a stupid behavior pattern that you have here for your own safety. You cannot do this. These men are vultures and predators. You know this. Okay, it's in the news everywhere, every single day. These guys, I mean, they go to school campuses. They get little girls walking home from school. These dudes are not wrapped too tight, and you sitting up there running by yourself at 11 o'clock at night in this area where it's dark, and then with headphones on. What is wrong with you? It's like everything in the world that you shouldn't do, you did it. Now, I'm not saying this is your fault. This is totally his fault. What I'm saying is, as a woman, okay, as a woman, people are irate. Of course we are, because we want to feel like we should be able to go anywhere in this world at any time of day or night, and we should be able to. But the reality is we can't, because that's where fools come into play. And one thing we cannot control is fools. We can only control ourselves. So what you do is you try to mitigate the access that they have to you and the possibility of harm coming to you. Is 100% proof? Nope, because they are breaking your house. I mean, you know what I mean? You can't stop everything. But what you try to do is take the path that's going to bring you the least problem, that's going to provide you with the most protection, that's going to put you in a position where you suffer the least exposure and risk. Nothing that you did meets those standards. So you are going to unask the money and you're going to join a gym. Okay? I don't know if you have a car, but whatever you do, you go to the gym, you run on the treadmill, you lift some weights, you take a class, dance class or whatever they do in the gym, and then you go to work, and then that's it. Okay? You come straight home from work and you go home. So by the time it's dark, you're in your house. So you don't even have a dog. So I can see if you was out running with some big old German Shepherd or Pit Bull or Rottweiler or something, and you running with that, then probably the likelihood of somebody messing with you is really low, because those kind of dogs will tear your throat out. Right? They're not gonna fuck with you when you got the dog like that. But you don't have nothing, and you had your headphones on, so you're not even paying attention. You just like looking like a victim walking down the street. Do you see some man approaching you? What are you supposed to do? Let's go through this. Okay, you stopped to listen to him. That's not what you do. You're a runner. You see the man coming to you and he stops, you take off running. I know that saved my life when I was in New Orleans. One time I went for my 30th birthday and I was by myself. I'll never forget it. I met this guy at a restaurant. He was a waiter, right? And he's like, oh, I can show you around New Orleans in the morning. It's my first time there. So I'm like, okay. So I go and I'm like, okay, this is all right. So that morning, though, I was going to meet him. Let's see, I think for dinner or something. No, lunch. I was going to meet him for lunch. But early that morning, I had gotten up and done like this bus tour of the city. And I have a really good sense of direction. So once they went, took us around, I knew the lay, I knew what was where and, this kind of stuff. So I'm set right. So we go to lunch in the French Quarter. And then he's walking, we're walking, we're supposed to be going to Jackson Square, right? And so we were walking in front, and we turned down the street, and there was a guy like in the kitchen. The door was open, and he was sitting there sitting on this wooden box smoking a cigarette. I actually took a picture of it. I had a picture. And so we're walking, and this car starts going by. Now he's on the outside and I'm on the inside. But I just happened to look at him and see. So he's looking. Okay, look at my face. This is him looking at that car. I see this, right? So I'm like, okay, what kind of bullshit is this? I didn't say nothing. So we walked another block and we get to the corner. Now, I don't know what was down that way because the bus didn't go that way. But I do know that Jackson Square was this way because, like I said, I'd been on a bus tour that morning. I knew. So, and this is when I was running 5 miles a day and I could book. So he wants to turn and go this way. Now he's on the inside and I'm on the outside by the curb. I see that same car that he had been doing a side signal with parked a few, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 feet ahead. And, these two guys are in it. Okay, so that would have been me in a car with three dudes that I didn't know. Deb started backing up. And he's like, oh, come on, it's this way. I said, no, it's not. And I made a U-turn and I took off. I was at Jackson Square in probably about 30 seconds. I was beating it to get away from that fool. And so then when I made my turn back, and I got a cab and went back to my hotel. The guy, had met me there in the lobby, so the hotel staff knew, who he was and what he looked like and everything. They had security cameras. I said, that guy that picked me up, and I told him what happened. And they said it's a good thing I recognized it because they had been having, at that time, a lot of rapes of tourists in New Orleans. And I was like, well, you guys, it would be nice if you told people this, because I was almost a, victim. And I told them how it was a setup and everything. And he said he couldn't believe I was that observant. I'm like, that's that hood rat in me. That's what that was. Because, we see everything. You know what I mean? We see everything when you be in the hood because you have to, because you got to know when you need to break. And so I took off. Ooh, I have never run that fast in my life. Oh my God. Just the adrenaline that I felt and this sense of panic. Like I had to get the fuck out of there. And I didn't even, I mean, the guy, he was trying to get me to go. I backed up and then I turned and took off. And it was just, I mean, I was out of there like road runner. That's how fast I was moving. But I'm saying to you, young lady, I told you that story for a reason. You have to be aware of your surroundings at all times when you are by yourself. You cannot be blown out playing on your phone like I see a lot of women doing, or listening to music. Even if you have headphones on, don't have no music playing. You need to be able to hear shit. You need to hear somebody coming up on you. Girl, Diana, you right. That probably was because I'm telling you, I channeled my inner something because I was a fuck up out of there like the wind, and I just was like, whew. That was, I mean, just thinking about how scary I was so scared. But I had enough presence of mind. No, I wasn't getting in that car, and he was not pressing. Because one dude was sitting he had moved behind the driver because before they was both in the front seat, right? He had moved in the seat behind the driver, and then the guy behind the wheel. So dude would have been able to push me in. I would have been pinned in the middle between the two. I already knew the setup. It's like I wasn't born yesterday. That's what's good about growing up in the hood. You know shit. I'm like, oh no, I could see what's about to go down, and it ain't gonna be me in that back of that car. I feel sorry for somebody else who didn't have my street smarts, but I got the fuck up out of there. And so that's what I'm telling you, young lady. Get your shit together and figure out what kind of way you can make this, mitigate these risks. Because you walking around 11 o'clock at night by yourself with headphones on. That's just asking for trouble. Yeah, these dusties are evil as hell. And then you can still be in a good mood. But I'm telling you, that's what you're going to do. You find a gym by your work or something, and you make that happen. Twist question 22, female 18 to 21 from Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm 21 and my boyfriend is 22. We've been together now for about a year. I've been having issues with my boyfriend's parents, mainly his mother, who I'll just call Marina for the sake of this. I always felt like she doesn't like me, especially since I'm Indian and my partner is Colombian. Therefore, our beliefs are very different. Marina and her sister, my partner's close auntie, who I'll call Tia, are always talking badly about Tia's son's wife. So that's Tia's daughter-in-law. They say such bad things about her behind her back and in front of her and act so fake. I felt like Marina's very fake towards me. She fat shamed me and told me I should wear a waist trainer or a tummy control and I'd look better. She also would point out my acne and how bad it looks. We ended up having a whole sit down conversation in which Marina was showing a lot of attitude, and as she isn't the best in English, she said in Spanish, how am I meant to communicate with her if every little thing offends? She apparently meant these things in a nice way and to help me, which I don't see that way. The family also mentioned during our family discussion that they do not want me coming over during the weekday, only on the weekend, which is a bit strange to me, but it's fine. It's their house. So a few days ago, my partner came over to my house to drop me home and stayed for dinner and just spent some time with my family, as it's mostly me spending time with his. My partner loves being around my family, and everything was good. And my mom even allowed him to stay overnight, even though it was a weekday. My partner told his parents that he was staying over, and they got super mad and saying he can't be doing that and that he shouldn't be going to other people's house and disturb him. Wow. Okay, then. I've also noticed every time he comes to drop me home, he always gets demanded to come home to help his dad, and so he can't even stick around and chill with my family. He has to rush off, even though he has a younger brother who's 19, who's more than capable of doing what they need. It just me feels like they don't want him to get to know my family. It's like they hate me, and him spending time together. Okay, so then she goes on and all this detail. Okay, let's see. This weekend on Saturday, I had told my partner from a week ago to keep Saturday free because we were going to plan something to do. It's going to be really hot, and I found out only today that the whole family is going to the beach, including aunts and uncles, and I was not even asked if I wanted to come or not. Marina had said to my partner, I can come Saturday or Sunday, and what I take of it is that after they're back from the beach or the next day. I don't know what to think or feel. Please give me advice on this. Get a new boyfriend. What is this? What is all this drama? You going through all these changes about a dumb boyfriend who can't even stand up to his parents? Because he's 22 years old, and his parents call him to tell him to come home. He's supposed to say no. I'll be home when I get home. There's nothing that y'all can do tonight. I can't wait till tomorrow. Click. That's what he's supposed to do. But he's not doing it, right? He's just going to rush off and go. So basically, what you have is a man who's not meeting your needs in a relationship. He's, too focused on what his mommy is talking about. He's a big baby, and you never going to get nothing with this. It just is this is a ridiculous battle. But I know she had told me that she, to put a waist trainer on and I look better. It don't stop your son from fucking me. So what you worried about it for? He loves all this curves. He can't get enough of it. Is that what you mad about? Because he's not fucking you? You old raggedy bitch. That's what she would get from me. Sitting up there telling some young girl some bitch shit like that. But see, I was always a terrorist, so. Ah. Keith finally showed his ass up. NBA Finals. You supposed to record that and be here, Keith. Now I'm feeling like I'm the side piece. Keith got a new woman. Her initials was NBA. Whatever, Keith. Talk to the hand. Yeah, this is really sad, but young lady, you're too young for this. Get rid of this fool. He's too immature for you. Question number 23, female 30 to 36 from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hello, Miss Deb and Candace. My sister Crystal asked for my advice today, and I have no idea how to respond, so I need your help. My sister is black, and she is happily married to a white man named John. John. John's family is polite to Crystal, but lukewarm, possibly low-key racist, and haven't tried to get to know her. Crystal's been with John for 10 years. The one person in the family who Crystal thought truly cared about her is her brother-in-law, quote, Mike. In January, Crystal started having some health issues, and she ended up having a biopsy. She was extremely nervous, and she told Mike what was going on. My sister's biopsy was normal, and her health issues went away. Now, fast forward several months. Last week, Crystal asked John, that's her husband, if Mike, the husband's brother, had followed up with him about the biopsy, thinking that he knew she was okay and the situation was over. Apparently, John and Mike hadn't spoken since Crystal told Mike about the biopsy. She was shocked and hurt that Mike didn't care enough to follow up about something so serious. I didn't know how to advise her, so I'm writing you. What do you think of the situation? Is Mike wrong? And if so, how wrong? How should my sister proceed? Thank you for helping us. Your sister need to get out of her feelings. Number one, she had no business telling her brother-in-law about her health issues. Tell her I said shut up and stop spreading that kind of stuff to men. Somebody's a brother or some other woman's husband. It's none of his fucking business what's going on with his brother's wife. Okay, that's a violation. If the brother wanted him to know he was that worried about it, he would have told him. Okay, your sister was doing too much and then having all these expectations that are ill placed. You tell her I said that. Number two, men don't go around talking about that kind of stuff. Their friends don't even know if they have, or getting a divorce and stuff until they're in the dregs of it and battling in court. Then they might say, yeah, Crystal and I are going through divorce, and his friends are like, wow, man, how long has this been going on? We split up about 6 months ago. This, they don't talk about that kind of stuff. That's not the manly thing to do. So for her to, she's expecting this man to respond emotionally like a woman, and of course he's not gonna do that. The women would have been called as soon as she left the doctor's office. Well, what did they say? Well, how did it go? Well, did it hurt? Well, what do you think? How did you act? How did you feel? We're gonna do that kind of stuff, but that's a woman thing. Men don't do that. Okay, now, so she getting all hurt about it and stuff. I mean, tell your sister to grow the fuck up. That's the bottom line. A, keep her mouth closed. Don't be telling your husband's brother about your female problems, issues, and stuff. And then number two, men don't whine like that and don't investigate like that. And the brother's probably shocked that you told him that. And then number two, he's sitting up there waiting for his brother to say something. If it was something important, like you was gonna be losing a titty or some shit like that, he would have said something to his brother and brought him in on it. But he didn't. That's how the dude knows it is fine. Okay, that's it. No news is good news in the world of men. Okay, so that's what you tell her, and you tell her to stop. Yeah, she's just doing too much, and me telling her stuff. Open your big mouth telling your husband's brother stuff like that. Don't you understand that you might cause a rift in the family, exposing shit that you don't have no business talking about? Even if he doesn't like you, whether he does or not, that's not the point. The point is that's your husband's brother. Okay, you don't tell him nothing about what's going on in your house, as with your pussy, your titties, your uterus, nothing. Okay, nothing. Because that body that you were with, you married your husband, and that's the only person who needs to know about what's going on with your body. Not his brother, not his sister, not his mother, nothing. Okay, so you tell your sister she's doing too much. She need to get her shit together and understand what marriage means and what boundaries are. Because she crossed all of them and then had the nerve to be getting upset and getting a funky feeling about it. Question number 24, female 30 to 35 from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I'm 30 years old and have been dating a 45-year-old guy for a couple of months. That is too fucking old. We met out in the real world at a meetup group and things have been amazing. We share the same values and goals in life and generally enjoy the time we spend together. No, you don't, because he's 15 years ahead of you in his goals. We've had some honest discussions regarding our future and what it looks like, and we are very much on the same page. We've both fallen pretty hard for each other, and everything has been great emotionally, mentally, and physically. A couple of nights ago, we got a little tipsy, and he said something about how he has one hang up with me, but he didn't want to say what it was because I don't want to bother wasting my time with the relationship if things will eventually deteriorate. With this hang up, I pressed until he eventually told me. He reluctantly told me that he would eventually want me to get a breast enhancement. Ooh. Mm. Y'all need to sing some spirituals because I'm about to go in. Sing the spirituals so I can get back in the zone. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, I would light his fucking ass up. Okay. He would eventually want me to get a breast enhancement, lift it, and go up a size. I understand. I'm telling you, I'm reading what it says. Although, wait, I understand to a certain extent. I've had two children and breastfed both of them for extended amounts of time, and my breasts are worse for the wear. I'm still nursing my 2.5-year-old. You doing too much. Stop that. Take that kid off the titty. What's wrong with you? I initially told him I wouldn't consider it, but then later said I would think about it. I've since decided it isn't for me, and I will tell him that tomorrow when I see him next. Although I'm not in love with my breasts, I have enough self confidence in my own body to personally not care enough to have a major surgery that has potential consequences. He stated that he is a boob guy and that this is basically a deal breaker because he doesn't want to compromise on it. I knew he was a fool, 45 dating a 30-year-old. He has to be stupid. That's so inappropriate. After all this discussion on Sunday night, he texted and said he would understand if I ghosted him because he said some really awful things and he know he messed up. For the people listening tonight, I'm sorry, can I get some input? Is being this much of a boob guy really a thing? Is it possible he was just drunkenly saying this, or is the fact that the conversation came up at all, tipsy or not, mean it will likely be an ongoing topic in the future? It's just so bizarre to me because he sure as heck doesn't seem to mind them when we are physical with each other. Does it just come down to him being shallow and I should be happy that he told me now before we get in deeper into the relationship? I feel like I know the answers to all this, especially because I can't control someone's deal breakers. But it seems so insane to me to toss out some how compatible we are in every other single way for something like this. This is the first time I've had a red flag with this guy, and I have been extremely careful to watch out for any during the time we've dated. Well, what you were supposed to do, let me tell you how this would have went if this was Deb. Because you understand when people drink that they nothing comes into their head like by magic. It was already there. All the alcohol did was loosen his tongues and his inhibitions so that he felt okay about saying that bullshit to you. See, so he's talking about he wants you to get a breast enhancement. Say, well, I want you to get a dick enhancement and do something about them saggy nuts too. That's just not, it's not cute. Okay? And your dick needs to be bigger. So I'll get bigger boobs and you'll get a bigger dick. How's that going to sound? I think that'd be really good. We can go into surgery together. You're paying for everything, of course. And then he would just be sitting there looking like confused. Well, I thought that was enough for you. Well, obviously not. My titties are not enough for you. So that means, I could feel free about finally admitting that your dick is not big enough for me either. I need that sucker to be up like it was when he was 18. I want that shit pointing straight up vertical, like a goddamn flagpole. That's what I want. I want that shit to be hard as times of 29. Like you talking about man of steel, I want that to be you, motherfucker. So you need to figure out how to make that happen, and then I'll be happy. Because, the way that this is like now, looking at your saggy balls and your half-mast dick, that's a deal breaker for me. See, that's how you do men like that. You don't go in your feelings about it and feel bad. You light they ass up. You let him give him a taste of his own medicine. Oh, is that what we doing? That's my favorite thing to say. When men get stupid, is that what we doing? And they better think about it and say, no, I was in gross error. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Here's my credit card. Get whatever you want. That's what they should say after they make a major faux pas like that. Because the next thing out of my mouth, I'm about to hurt all your feelings. And when I hurt the ones that's visibly present in 2021, I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to find them feelings. I'm going to hurt them too. Then I'm going to go into the future and the feelings that you might have in 2077, I'm going to hurt them too. So then I'm gonna start it on your mama. I'm gonna hurt her feelings because she's the one who birthed your bitch ass. So let's go. Let's do this. If that's what we're doing, let's go. Let's do it. Cause so this here, no, you don't you dare fix your lips to say nothing about what I need to do with my body. Now I would light his ass up. He would just be. And every time I passed by him and I saw his, because when old men get that flat frog butt, when they get in their 40s, their butt is not firm and round no more. The cheeks, it starts getting flat. They get what the frog butt. That's all it is. And it's all flat and shit. They pants be sagging in the back because they don't have no ass. I'd be like, that's not cute. What happened to the rest of your booty? It's just like a pancake back there. That is not sexy. I don't know what to tell you. You need to go and get you some, them implants that they put on men. So while they working on the front, you have them put some cheeks back there too. Round that shit up. And then while you at it, gonna put some, cheekbones and some pec implants in there too, man. Round that shit out. Once you looking like, an Adonis or some shit. Keith always talking about gritting up somebody. Yes, frog butts. Have you ever seen frogs' booties? How flat they are? They're flat. That's the booty that older men get. Flat butts. And it's not cute. So any dude listening to this, you look in the mirror. If your pants are sagging in the back, or you have a flat ass when you pull you walking around in your boxers and ain't nothing filling out your boxers, get your ass to a fucking trainer and work on your glutes. Cause that shit is not cute. And plus, once you have your good glutes and stuff, that pelvic floor and stuff, and then you'll be able to hold your boner longer, and it'll be stronger and higher. All kind of shit be going on. It's glutes. Okay, this is from a former personal trainer with multiple national certifications. So I know what I'm talking about. So you get your glutes in order, then you can hang in the bed. But you walking around with that saggy ass and shit, you can't do nothing. And I would sure remind him of it. And so about 20 minutes later, just like I am now, still talking about him, notice I'm still reading him. That's how I would do it. And finally I would be done. I mean, like, okay, so you need to make your appointment because I'm really not happy with your body either. These people. Anyway, this column was crazy. It's full of all kind of wacky people tonight. Let us move on to the next and final letter. This is letter number 25 of the letter number 25 of the column for July 20. Can you believe it's already July? Remember we was doing February? It didn't seem like it was that long ago, and that was just February. This is already the end of July. Whew. Okay, this is a young lady in the 26 to 29 age group from a place called Darwin, Australia. Never heard of it. I'm 28, and a few years ago I met someone at work. We dated for 6 months, and then he told me that he didn't want anything committed. He's single, 33, a bit socially awkward, and I generally didn't think anyone else was in the picture, so I just figured he was having some issues from his divorce 4 years prior. So we had this amazing, fun, and flirty friendship with me, hoping in the background that he would come around, but he never did. We have lunch every day together. He comes and hangs out in my office for coffee. He calls me on the way home, etc. We go in cycles. Everything is perfect and it feels like we are getting somewhere. Then he will suddenly go cold, prompting me to go into a bit of a tiz. I will then tell him that I need to go back off and not be so friendly with him anymore. He then turns up the charm, says he misses my company, and then I relent and we are back to square one. The cycle begins again. It's been 2 years of this. Only now I think he's met someone. His behavior has changed. He's exactly the same at work, but he will not reply to messages in the evenings or weekends when he hasn't got his children. And he is online on WhatsApp for hours, just not reading my messages. Then, as he was showing me count something on his phone, he got a WhatsApp from a girl's name, and my stomach just sank. Last week, I blocked him on all platforms and explained again that we could not be friends. We had a work-related conversation on Saturday morning, but then I went back to radio silence. Today I arrived at work to a note on my desk. Good morning, cupcake. Hmm. I think he likes knowing that I have feelings for him, and I am definitely an ego boost. I need to get my dignity and walk away, but it's killing me inside. You are a fucking drama queen. I do know it's not right, but all of my self-confidence is being torn to shreds because I perceive so little of myself because I can't make him love me like I love him. I say love in the loosest possible term. I'm infatuated with him. I want my feelings to be reciprocated. I know that I need to be stronger and walk away and not buy into his bullshit, but it feels damn near impossible. I don't know what to do. Oh, you know my phrase. I swear I'm gonna have to make a sign because I can't say it because then YouTube just tags my video because I'm saying violence about people. But yeah. Okay, let's start at the beginning here. Okay, this has been going on for 2 years, so you knew after the first time that he pulled this little stunt that he was full of shit. But yet, what did you do? You kept going back for more, okay? And then you want to portray yourself as a victim. You're not a victim. You have chose to be in this stupid cycle of bullshit. You decided to do that. You kept going back to it again and again and again and again and again. And it wasn't like you were married and you had children, that you were concerned about and you wanted to be with the family and you took vows and, things that often will confuse married women and keep them in a situation longer than they should be. You weren't even like a couple. This was just somebody you were fucking at your job. And you have all this emotional angst about it. Do you understand how stupid you sound right now? I hate to, I mean, I really do hate to have to tell you this about yourself, but that's how you sound. Like, and you're talking about, my self confidence. The key word there is self. Okay. So nobody can take that from you. Okay. You're giving it to them willingly. Okay. Self esteem, self confidence, self motivation. Key word all there is self. That means you do it. You provide it for yourself. You're not doing that. You're just looking for, I don't know what you're looking for here because you ain't getting shit out of it. All he's doing is fucking you and leaving. And you just hanging around for more just to let this man use and abuse you. I don't understand. And you sitting up there talking about my stomach saying, he's not your man. What are you doing? Your stomach shouldn't be sinking. He should be doing whatever the fuck he want to do because you should be so busy doing what you're doing with other men that you don't even notice that he's on WhatsApp. That's what should be happening, but you're not paying any attention to that. And somebody arrived at put it. Let me tell you what I would do if okay we had this bullshit going on and I blocked you and I came to work and you had a thing on my desk to say good morning cupcake. I would walk to your desk and you mash that cupcake into your face and say don't be putting your trash on my desk, motherfucker. What's wrong with you? Okay? I bet you he wouldn't leave shit else there. He'd be wearing that frosting and that chocolate or whatever that fucking cupcake was. Don't play games with me. Leave me alone. But I'm infatuated with him. I want my feelings to be reciprocated. Not gonna happen. Okay? He knows you don't have any kind of self confidence and self esteem. When a man can't respect you, he's not gonna love you ever. You guys, we talk. I try to put that in your head. A man is never gonna love a woman he doesn't respect and admire. He respects and admires you, and then the love comes. Because he just thinks of you so like you're such a fucking fabulous person, so wonderful, just such a shit. You're the shit. He just feels proud to be having you on his arm. He can't. I mean, he just thrilled. Okay, that's not you. That's not you. So you sitting there talking about, you need to get your dignity and but it's killing you. You just so drama filled. It's just unbelievable. But I want you to understand this man does not respect you. He's never ever going to respect you because you don't even respect yourself. And when you have a situation like that, young lady, your best bet is to break this off, change jobs if you need to, and see a counselor. Because there's something going on with you. I don't know the source of it, but it's very problematic and you cannot continue to live your life like this. It's just you're just shooting yourself in the foot and you're never going to have a nice and healthy, mutually interdependent relationship that's mutually respectful with any kind of gentleman until you take care of whatever's going on in your head that's motivating you to behave like this. It's not good for you. Okay? It's not good at all. So what do we got here? Okay, so Friday night is the Dusty News Network. You guys, send in some stuff if you got some stuff you want to send in. Surviving Dating at gmail.com. Send in your memes, your screenshots of crazy comments you've seen online, crazy posts that men have made, dusty women to, just email everything that you see. Make sure you do a screenshot. We cannot accept links and we do not accept videos. So don't send links and don't send videos. They're just gonna get deleted because I'm not trying to get in any kind of copyright trouble about somebody's video. I'm not doing that, okay? So the DNN is on Friday night, but the party is on Saturday night. Look on the community wall for the information to log on for a Zoom. If you want to participate by phone, that's where you're going to call in, and then we're going to have it feeding over here to YouTube. So no matter which platform you on, you will be able to participate in the fun and the foolishness because we're going to talk about all kind of stuff. No real topic. I have a couple of things I want to throw out there for you guys to start talking about, and it should be a good time. So bring your drink, put your jammies on, get comfortable, put the kids to bed, put your husband to bed, and then let's get jiggy. All girls night. See you guys on Friday night and then on Saturday for the big party, okay? See you later. Thanks for coming. Bye.